Wednesday night at the Garden, Mario Lemieux and the Pittsburgh Penguins skated into town to take on the Adams Division champs. After an exhausting 7-game series with Montreal, there was the danger of an emotional letdown for the Bruins, and early on, the well-rested Penguins made those fears a reality.
Mullen gets it for Phil Bourque, moves right in, holds it, elects to move behind for a shot to score by Mullen. Set up by Phil Bourque, and it is 1-0 Pittsburgh.
The game was barely 1 minute old, and the Penguins had served notice that it's not a question of if they will score, but when and how many. But the Bees were apparently unimpressed. And the Bruins worked a quick counter when they went on the power play for the first time on the night.
Kept in on a big play for Janney right in front. He scores! Frank Janney with a move, and Barrasso put the backhander in. On a power play, he ties it at 1.
That first Bruins score once again showed what could happen if the Bruins put in a full night of forechecking. Excessive pressure on the Penguin D would force mistakes, and the Bees would capitalize.
With Hillier, stolen. Růžička in front. Neely scores! Neely from Janney and Růžička to tie it at 2. Weimer now for Růžička. The shot, the save by Barrasso. Can't clear it out. Intercepted by Bourque. Bourque moves it across in front from Sweeney. Scores! Bob Sweeney gives the Bruins a 3-2 lead.
After Sweeney's goal, the opportunistic Bees never looked back, and with another outstanding game turned in by Andy Moog, Game 1 of this year's Wales Conference Finals went Boston's way. Tonight, head coach Mike Milbury will look for the same result, using basically the same formula. Bob Sweeney was outstanding on limiting the opportunities afforded Mario Lemieux, and Mario's frustration showed as the game went on. If the Bees are to win, they're going to have to once again be on the high-flying Penguins in the Pittsburgh zone before that offense gets on track. The Bruins executed this two-step procedure to perfection 2 nights ago, and they've got to do it again if they hope to come out on top here in game number 2. It's all about to unfold as the Boston Bruins play host to the Pittsburgh Penguins in the Wales Conference Finals. And it's next, live on NESN. Hello, everybody, and welcome back to Boston Garden for Game 2 of this Stanley Cup semifinal series between the Black and Gold of Boston and the Black and Gold of Pittsburgh. Hello again, I'm Dave Shea. Glad to have you with us. Tonight, the Bruins figure that Pittsburgh will be tighter in their end. A few mistakes by the Penguins that led immediately to Bruin goals. The Bees aren't expecting Pittsburgh to be that charitable again. So Boston is going to have to create more opportunities with their heavy forechecking. That's a must. Of course, they don't want to rely too much on Andy Moog, but the way he's been playing, and so consistently so, it's hard not to expect great goaltending tonight from Moog. That's what Pittsburgh must get from Tom Barrasso. There are your goaltenders. For a closer look at this one, let's go up to the booth right now with Fred and Derek.
Thank you, Dave, and Bob Sweeney certainly did a fine job on Mario Lemieux.
I think that was a big thing in that first game. Mario Lemieux had never seen Bob Sweeney in a playoff contest, obviously, and that intensity that Sweeney came to the game with. He took his ego, put it aside. The humility of being a checker is not something Bob Sweeney, would like, but he's doing it very well. He could get famous shutting down Lemieux. Mario now has got 1 game with Bob Sweeney on his back under his belt. He's going to try a few more things, trying to get loose, and that's going to be a key to this hockey game.
And, of course, Cam Daly, who scores over 50 goals a year for the Boston Bruins, he's had his share of shadows, too, but none the other night.
Well, he learns how to fight his way through it, Fred, and I don't know whether Bob Johnson said to himself, well, maybe Cam Neely's just a caliber player that you can't check. I think he's going to put somebody on him tonight. He has to. You cannot leave Cam Neely alone on the right side, especially when Janney's hitting on all 8 cylinders. So I think Neely's going to see a little more coverage tonight.
Yeah, but I don't think checking is the spirit of the Pittsburgh Penguins or Bob Johnson or the philosophy at all. I mean, that defense is vulnerable.
They are. It is kind of caution to the wind, and it's something they just go for it. Mark Recchi is an example of their offense. He just he's a very fancy player, slips and slides. He's in and out of a lot of different things. Recchi is the type of player, he's a leading scorer for them. Tremendous offensive weapon. He, like the rest of his teammates, do not pay a lot of attention to the other end of the building. Tom Barrasso, any goaltender would look to get the fault and the blame in that first game. Not so. They're just left on their own. They have a defense that is suspect. The Bruins must get on it and work it hard.
Well, we said Montreal had a young defense, average age 22 and a half. You have to get on them. The average age of this defense is 29 years. Now, that's plenty of experience, but talent, I don't know.
Well, they've certainly have enough stickers on their suitcase. The Pittsburgh defense has been around. They've been to a lot of different clubs. They're experienced. They should know, how to tighten up. I think that it is an adjustment for them as well. It's not the way anyone has really taught how to play this game. The defensemen play with forwards as a rule. That's what you're supposed to come back. You're supposed to take your wingers so I can stand up. If the forwards don't come back and help them, there isn't a defense in the world can do the job in Pittsburgh or anywhere else.
And we'll have the opening faceoff in just a moment.
NESN's exclusive presentation of Boston Bruins hockey is brought to you in part by Budweiser, the king of beers, with that distinctively clean, crisp, cold taste. Nothing beats a Bud. And by Nissan, building cars for people who want more than just a means of getting from here to there. Nissan, built for the human race. And by Sullivan Tire Family Car Care Centers, because family spirit is what Sullivan is all about. And by Mobil. Mobil One synthetic motor oil. Isn't your car worth the extra protection? And by the Discover card. It pays to discover, the card that pays you back. And by Gillette and the revolutionary Gillette Sensor Shaving System. Gillette, the best a man can get.
Hello again, everybody, and welcome back to a jammed Boston Garden for Game 2 of this Wales Conference Championship Series, the Stanley Cup semifinals. This crowd is already into it.
Oh, it's Friday night. Friday night helps.
Happy hour began around 4, and so there are some who are already in mid-game form. You know, looking at these two clubs, the high-powered Pittsburgh offense, they have so many talented individuals, Derek. The Bruins dodged a bullet the other night, giving up 7 power plays, but only surrendering 1 power play goal. They'll have to cut back in that number.
I would recommend that they cut back on that number. And when you look back at that game, Dave, there's 2 saves on Yager, 2 on Lemieux, 1 on Kevin Stevens. I mean, there's 5 right there. Pure 10-bell saves that Moog made. It's a whole different game. It's 8-6 if that's the case. Pittsburgh Penguins can score goals. They can create offense. The Bruins are going to have to mind that. They're just not going to be able to go for it.
Looking at Bob Sweeney, who did such an effective job distracting Mario Lemieux the other night. He isn't really shadowing Lemieux. The term shadow should not be used because Bob has the right to make a decision and go offense. If Lemieux is going to hang back by the line, make it a 5-on-4 situation for Boston. And Cam Neely right now leading goal scorer in Stanley Cup competition.
Bob Sweeney got a goal in that assignment, that defensive assignment with Lemieux.
Let's get down onto the ice. Rene Rancourt to sing the national anthem.
Oh, say can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleam, whose broad stars and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the
fired up if it was the 7th game of the Stanley Cup Finals. They are ready. Let's bring you tonight's officials. The referee will be Dan Maruelli. The linesman Gordy Brossiker, and Kevin Collins, the standby official for tonight's game. Kerry Frazier, who will be the referee down in Pittsburgh for Game 3. Tom Barrasso in goal for the Penguins tonight. They'll need a stronger effort from Barrasso. Bork, Francis, and Orecki with Roberts and Murphy in front of Tommy Barrasso tonight. At the other end of the building, Andy Moog, who's been oh so consistent throughout the playoffs. Skriko, Poulin, Christensen, the line, Wesley and Bork at defense in front of Andy Moog. We're just about set to go. Let's turn things over to Fred.
Okay, we're looking at Mike Milbury. He's ready, and the Bruins are pulling with it. It goes to Murphy, though, and over to Roberts. Veteran combination on defense. Roberts flips it in. Could be icing, but Moog's going to play it. Wheels it around, and Bruins trying to move it out. Can't do it. Kept in by Recchi. Recchi, a speedster, checked by Christian. Goes all the way around behind the net again. And there's Murphy pinching in. They're attacking. Francis, deep, checked by Wesley. Bork puts a pass intercepted by Skriko. Away to Poulin. And here's Christian all alone. Saved by Barrasso. Poulin sent Christian in all alone. And Tom Barrasso, a very big save.
Well, that's very important for Tom Barrasso. He does not have a lot of success in this building, and that is a big confidence boost for Barrasso early in this hockey game.
What it is, if you're Pittsburgh, you got to be a little scared. First of all, you're giving this up early. The Bruins walking in here. Now, he's well out of the net. Christian, I think, you take it back, and he sees a replay of that to see how far out of the net Barrasso was. He may just maybe wanted to pull him, but Christian missed the shot, I think, more than anything. Tommy held the fort and challenged him.
As Bob Sweeney pointed out in the Bruins Digest, Barrasso likes to go for that first move, and if you can hold it, you might make out.
The draw is back to Bork from Neely. Cross now for Wesley. The shot, the save by Barrasso. And Joe Mullen sends Lemieux away. Lemieux checked by Bork. Puck goes to the corner. Lemieux gets it. Trying to set up Mullen. It goes to Samuelson. Samuelson keeps it in. Cross the line. Lemieux broken up. Bork breaks it out. 3-on-2 Boston. That Bork just snaps it in as he moves to the bench. Defense not in the vocabulary of the Pittsburgh Penguins. Here comes Stevens. They are just all offense. The Bruins have had a breakaway in the first minute, and they've had a 3-on-2. Don Sweeney now. Gianni Neely. Neely is buried by Samuelson.
Doesn't call that.
A wicked hit. Samuelson lined up Neely right at the Boston blue line.
I think Maruelli, in all fairness, his vision was, the line of sight was taken away from him.
Nyland at center ice. Moves it back. Now Ray Bork with it. Ray Bork checked by Yager. Gets it away. Sends it up in the middle. Lazaro on the left wing side. Slides it in deep as he's checked by Taglianetti. Bruins with deep forechecking. Nyland is going out, or maybe matching penalties here. And he is punching Jennings.
Dan Maruelli may have just had enough of what he heard from the Bruin bench. Cam Neely was all over him. Mike Milbury was all over him for the non-call. And it's just ironic that Maruelli, at first opportunity, blows the whistle on Nyland.
It is Boston nothing.
Careful.
Pittsburgh nothing. Back in a moment.
Well, everyone at home can figure out what constitutes high sticking or charging or elbowing. Chris Nyland in the box. Early fisticuffs. Here's Brian Trottier and Cam. Brian Trottier, one of the toughest players that ever played. A little up there in age. He doesn't let you go easily. Here's Neely coming up to the blue line. Here's Samuelson. Watch the jump and the elbow. No call.
Well, Cam knew he'd see enough of Wolf this series. That's part of the expected.
What's the expected part is that the contact is there. Cam kept the stick down because he was handling the puck.
Penguins will get a power play early, and here we go. How many times do you want to take it on, take a chance by giving this Pittsburgh power play an opportunity? Although the numbers, Derek, don't look that impressive through the playoffs for Pittsburgh. Only 19% on the power play. How do you figure? Maybe the absence of Coffey. He's been out quite a bit.
I think that's a very big point. Paul Coffey generates most of their offense back there.
Nyland, 2 minutes roughing, 2 minutes high sticking. Jennings, 2 minutes roughing at 2:07. Wesley able to clear it. Murphy is on with Young. A couple of terrific shooters from the blue line. Stevens, Recchi, and Lemieux. And here comes Stevens. Wraps it around the boards. Lemieux there to Recchi. Lemieux again. Back for Murphy. Over to Young. Murphy to Lemieux. They like to pass it, but here's Young with the shot and Moog with the save on the 45-footer. Here's a drive by Stevens that missed the net. Kept in by Murphy. Murphy to Stevens. Lazaro trying to check the play, and Wesley in the corner, and Recchi pokes it for Lemieux. Lemieux drops it in front. Stevens shoots. Hit the post, maybe. Stevens with a big chance there. 1:07 left on the power play.
What a great setup by Mario Lemieux. He just slid that puck out just inside the circle. Stevens had Moog screened and whistled one off the far post.
Here's what Mario Lemieux, you're going to find he misses it. Right? He missed it.
Yep.
And it slides right to Stevens. He was trying to get it back to the point. But you're that great and the right idea is there. All he did is end up giving it to the short man instead of the deep man right there. The handling of the puck at the blue line. Unloads one. Andy Moog got the right leg on that one.
And the face-off, it's back to Phil Bourque. Now to Lemieux, who stays out. To Mullen. Puts it on net. Saved by Andy Moog. Bruins fight to get it outside the line, and they do, and break over the line. Poulin cutting in front, short-handed, and just missed the net. And a penalty coming up on Pittsburgh. Murphy apparently is going. 49 seconds left on the Pittsburgh power play.
Good hustle by Burridge. Randy Burridge just stayed on this, came late, interfered with all the way back. But Poulin fights for the puck along the boards. He stays with it pretty good. Murphy takes a swipe at it and misses it. There's Burridge. There's the interference on Francis.
Boy, Poulin didn't miss by much.
Not by much. Well, nor did Kevin Stevens. So if you count the opportunities, the quality opportunities, the Bruins are leading 2-1.
Notice the difference in the two goaltenders. Andy Moog has his legs working, kicking the puck out. Barrasso goes down on his knees a lot, so when there's no chance to get those legs back out to recover. And that may play an important role before we're through in this series. Rebounds and Barrasso's inability to recover with his legs.
Shot by Bob Sweeney on the faceoff, and a save by Barrasso. Each team short a man. Lazaro is out there with Bob Sweeney, Don Sweeney, and Galley.
Bob Johnson gets a little butt end from Yager. Sorry about that. Get 2 minutes, Yarmer. You miss your next shift. Tom Barrasso, when he first came into the league, I was thoroughly impressed with him. A great goalkeeper, had some great early years, and started to go down a little bit more than he used to.
Roberts on defense with Paul Stanton out of Catholic Memorial, University of Wisconsin. And he did not play the other night. Galley trying to come back now. Bob Sweeney picks it up. Breaks to center ice. Coming hard. At the line, it is offside as he was trying to cut away from Gord Roberts.
You look at Barrasso and you think back to the previous series. Barrasso and Roy approached it a lot alike.
Very much so. They had that down and spread style. But the key to that is to have the stick comfortably cut off the 5 hole. If anything on the ice doesn't beat you, then there's that little triangle left. But you've got to watch guys constantly. That Tom Barrasso has gone down blindly. And I think a lot of the players, once they read that style, start going upstairs on you. Much like Ray Bork's 6th goal the other night.
Linesman fell down, and Stanton gets the puck, gives it to Erie. Erie closing, puts it in front. Stanton was covered all the way on the play by Gary Galley. Erie, Lemieux keeps it in. And broken up. But maybe a breakaway by Boston. Bob Sweeney coming. Missed on the short side. The Bruins getting those breakaways, getting 3-on-2s, and Barrasso's come up big. Ray Bourque now, power play for the Bruins. Batted away by Mario Lemieux. Bourque, they say, high-sticked it, and so the faceoff is down in the Boston end. The Bruins are on a power play.
You can hear Maruelli yell, "White." Right out, Mario Lemieux picked up a little speed there. Now he's breaking out on the curl, but Bob Sweeney knew he had to come back to the net eventually. He loses it to Jeff Lazaro. How'd Sweeney break away, and there's no Mario Lemieux? Into your picture late. Bob tried upstairs on the blocker off the post, just a little bit wide of his mark.
Well, he's having a pretty successful postseason on the power play. As you can see, 24%. That's doing all right.
Draw back to Ray Bourque. He's on with Wesley, Janney, Růžička, and Neely, the line. Power play Boston, 50 seconds left. Neely coming late. Off for Wesley, pokes it in deep. Taglianetti back, wraps it around the boards, and out. Bourque for Janney. Gains the line smartly with a beautiful move. Flips it for Bourque. Bourque a shot, a save, the rebound. Janney with it. Right back to Bourque. Up for Janney. Neely was flattened in front. Penalty coming up.
Samuelson.
Bruins should give him the puck and get a two-man advantage, and Janney does. For 18 seconds, they'll have a two-man advantage as Neely was knocked down in front. Boston nothing, Pittsburgh nothing. Back in a moment on NESN.
Pittsburgh not only has given up breakaways, 2-on-1s, getting a little chippy, getting a little more physical, but physical is one thing. Double teaming the high stick. Samuelson gets the gate. Could have been either one of them.
Yeah, I can see why Ophir was a little confused. He probably thought it was Peter Taglianetti.
Draw to Roberts, big face-off one there, and Wesley just able to keep it in. Couple of seconds left. 10 on the two-man advantage. Wesley off for Bourque. For Wesley. In for Neely. He missed it. Růžička behind the net. Trying to make the play. Looking. Neely. Score! Neely from Janney and Růžička.
How smart is that Vladimír Růžička? The big play, Dave, was Neely. All right, they had him. He had Neely. I got you, but Pittsburgh was shutting Neely down.
Let's look at it, Kirk, on the Mobile 1 instant replay.
He shuts him down. Watch when he steals the puck here. He curls. He's got Neely, but he's also got Janney. Let's go back to Janney and let Janney go out front to Neely. What a pretty goal.
Boy, that was set up beautifully.
Cam says, okay, if you want to give it a... Perfect. I'll take that one.
See, before, the Penguins had Neely fronted. When it went to the other side, now Neely's got the body position on Recchi.
Perfect.
Moog out of the net, moves it off for Bourque. Bourque trying to move it out. Check. Francis with it, puts it in front. A score by Stevens, standing right at the crease. Wesley couldn't check him, and he drove it home to tie it up quickly, 1-1.
Wow. Kevin Stevens, so big, like Neely, so hard to move out of there. Identical almost to the way the Bruins scored on the power play.
Kevin Stevens, one tough customer.
He sure is.
Comes to play every night. You have to love him. L.A. drafted him first. Immediately traded him to Pittsburgh. L.A. would love to have him back. Wesley's trying to fight him. Bordering on interference, but you've got to get your arms under his arms, get that stick off the ice. The key is that Stevens can keep it on the ice, and once he gets the pass, it's in the net, a little redirect.
A couple of power forwards by the name of Cam Neely and Kevin Stevens with goals from in close. Roberts broken up by Poulin. It is 1-1. Bruins trying to press the defense. But the Penguins work it out. It's off for Stevens. He fell down. Back up, gets it. Check. Poulin's pass stopped, kept in by the Penguins. Broken up. And away comes Christian. Poulin was knocked down. Here's a lead for Skriko with Bourque. Back for Bourque. Bourque, a screen shot, a save by Barrasso. Wide open again. Back now comes Recchi on Don Sweeney. Sweeney right into him. A good hit And they battle. And heavy action in the corner.
Well, boys are going at it tonight. It's like the Friday night go at it. Friday night fights. Remember those? They were good.
Well, Gillette's the sponsor of Bruins hockey.
Why not? Don Sweeney, nice solid check on young Mark Recchi.
Boston 1, Pittsburgh 1. First period on NESN.
Well, already game 2 more physical than what we saw in game number 1.
I don't know if it's physical like we'd like to see it. It's a little chippier, a little dirtier.
Yeah, not a lot of heavy body checks, Turk, but you're right. There's been some that have brought about some chippy play.
There's the punch. Sweeney gets a second punch. Okay, enough of this. I'll give you one. Give you one back, and then they come. Then Ray Bourque sees Stevens come out of left field.
The scoring, Neely at 5:23 is 15th in the series from Gianni and Růžička power play. And then 13 seconds later, Kevin Stevens tied it up from Francis and Recchi. Matching penalties here. Over the line, the puck kept in by Stanton for a shot blocked wide. A backhander. Oh, Bourque tried to set up Lemieux. Didn't work, and the Bruins break. Bob Sweeney leaves it for Růžička. Shot and a save, Barrasso. Brilliant stop there. A left-hand save on Růžička. Wide open, up and down it comes. Is Bill Bourque. Galley into the corner. Puck knocked away by Moog when it was centered. Wrapped back in by Joey Mullen. Cleared around the boards. Samuelson moving in. Hit by Galley. Gets it in deep. Lemieux puts it in front. Bill Bourque gets it off in the corner. What action here? A drive from the right point by Stanton. A save by Moog. Stanton wraps it around. Looks like a power play here for Pittsburgh. With plenty of body contact. And Galley forced to clear it out.
Dan Merriwelli started to call a penalty on Bob Sweeney for tagging Lemieux out in front of the crease. That's going to be quite a battle tonight.
Puck to Ray Bourque. Can't set up Nyland. Samuelson drops it in the Boston zone. Is hit by Burridge. Weimer starts it back for Burridge. Hit by... Broken up. Here's Weimer over the line. Closing the shot and a save by Barrasso. The Bruins have had 7 shots on many labels. Here's one by Hoover covering at the point. Blocked. And Urey fires it out. Lead for Yager. Yager broken up. Knocked back in. Called offside. Wow.
I'd like to see this settle down into...
Hey, Turk, this is more physical than game 1. No doubt about it. Mario Lemieux shaking his head saying, hey, you're going to let Sweeney treat me like this all night?
Well, Mario kind of hit Sweeney. I was kind of... Now he comes back at him a little bit.
I think that's what he meant there, Turk.
That was what he got.
That little cuff to the jaw, I think, is what Mario was hoping he might get a whistle for.
The Bruins still getting a flock of good opportunities. Barrasso has kicked up some dandies. 1-1 the score. Weimer is on defense. For Burridge. Nyland. The clear in deep. Hoover going for it. Can't get it. Burridge gets it. Trying to make his play from the boards. He's belted by Urey right into the boards. And away comes Yager. Broken up to force the offside. It is Boston 1, Pittsburgh 1. Back in a moment on NESN.
When Bruins coach Mike Milbury went in search of a new car, he wanted something European, but affordable. He wanted something dependable. He wanted something extra. He wanted a Peugeot.
What I really wanted more than anything else was room enough for the whole team.
Chris Nyland introducing himself to Kevin Stevens. And now heading for the bench.
The line out there now. It is Francis centering Stevens on the left. And Scott Young on the right. The local boys abound. Scott Young, Clinton, Boston University,
Well,
St. Mark's.
Tonight. Paul Stanton in the lineup. Went to the first one to sign up for the Billy Skinner and Michael Connell hockey school years ago.
Is that right?
Yeah, as a youngster. A nice career, great career ahead of him.
Roberts drives it in. A hit Weimer. And back comes Poulin, center ice. On the left for Bork. Bork trying to move in, can't. Skriko a shot. Saved by Barrasso at the right side. The puck out into center ice. Poked ahead by Young. Bork checked by Stevens. And it floats now to Moog and is tied up.
Boy, I tell you, you got that Kevin Stevens out there coming down on you. You got your hands full.
Oh, he's a wild bull. Hey, fans, be one of the first to show your playoff support to the Bruins by ordering the 1991 official Boston Bruins playoff T-shirt and sweat top. Available in medium, large, and extra large sizes, this playoff apparel comes in designs of either Ray Bourque, Andy Moog, Cam Neely, or Craig Janney. The T-shirts cost $14.95. The sweat tops just $24.95. So order yours today by calling 1-800-5-BRUINS. All orders will be shipped within 5 business days.
Face-off now. Francis, he's going to try and draw to Recchi, who's back at the point. They move Murphy up at right wing. Plays like a forward anyway.
And you're going to have Stevens going to the net on this. Recchi may fake the shot back there and make the play because that's what he's very good at. First, you have to get it back to him.
Draw to Wesley. Poulin wins it. Wesley coming out. He is hit by Stevens. The puck goes to Poulin. His pass stopped. Pittsburgh moves it out quickly. Stevens with it. Gets it to Recchi. Recchi to Stevens. Stevens puts it in front. Knocked away from Recchi. Bruins trying to break. Couldn't do it. Wrapped back in. A save by Moog. And Stevens goes banging around in there.
Stevens has got to go for that punch.
Boy, Stevens dropped Ken Hammond, who ran right into a punch. Ken never saw the punch coming and ran right into it. You know, the other night, the Penguins allowed the Bruins to kind of skate around and with their heads down there without making them pay. Tonight, they're going to hit every time they get a chance.
What they're doing here is sending a message. There's 2 games in Pittsburgh. It's going to be tough and dirty and physical. They're going to come to our building. Pittsburgh a little preoccupied with it right now. The Bruins, what you have to do is hold the fort. You know, just hang in there, stay with it.
1-1 the score. First period on NESN.
Well, there has to be a new penalty now entered into the books. Facing. Ken Hammond gets 2 for roughing. Stevens gets nothing. All Hammond did was put his face on the end of Stevens' glove.
There they bang into each other. Okay, play's over and dead. Stevens a little loose with the stick around Moog's head. Poulin gives him a pop. Now there he catches him to the left. Just caught him off guard. Caught him in the shoulder, glanced to the head. Hammond really didn't do anything.
Well,
Stevens a good punch. At least you could have given it coincidental.
Second power play for Pittsburgh. The Bruins are 1 for 2. Their goal came in a power play. Neely. This clear here by Young. It was icy.
Pittsburgh a little frustrated at this point. They have an offense. But once it starts clicking, I mean, it's awesome. They do have an awesome offense.
I think one reason the Bruins so far have been successful, for the most part, killing off power plays by Pittsburgh. Without Coffey out there, you can almost afford to play down a little bit lower and try to cover those forwards because you don't have the playmaker so much at the point. You have the shot at the point, but not so much the playmaker that you would in Coffey.
And that's what you need. What makes a power play go is that point man, the Ray Bourques, the Bobby Orrs. That's what makes it happen.
Young is on with Murphy. Recchi breaks. Fires it over the line. It is onside. Kept in by Murphy. Broken up. Not cleared. Murphy keeps it in. Gets it to Recchi. Checked by Wesley. They battle on the boards. Poulin there. Battle for it. It goes deep. Moog now trying to clear it. Up the boards. Poulin trying to get open. Able to clear it. 1:15 left on the Pittsburgh power play. 1-1 the score. Halfway through the first period. Pittsburgh playing much better. Lemieux would have been offside. Instead, it's icing. Lemieux couldn't handle that one. I mean, he knew he was offside. Kevin Stevens has been a presence. He's 25 years old. Spent a year in the minor leagues. 2 full seasons with Pittsburgh, having a tremendous campaign. He played a couple of years with Craig Janney at Boston College.
What amazes me is the LA Kings drafted him first. We mentioned it earlier, and then they immediately traded him away. But they'd love to have him now. You put him out there with Gretzky, Robitaille, that whole crew, brings toughness.
He's a Cam Neely-like forward.
He's a Cam Neely left winger.
Sure.
The two of them. Ideally, if you're Craig Janney, you'd love to have Stevens on the left and Neely on the right. Any centerman would like that.
Joe Bork plays the point on the power play. Gets it to Stevens. Off to Murphy. Murphy fires it around looking for Lemieux. Can't get it. Burridge can't clear it. Recchi broken up. Kept in by Bork. Recchi. Up the boards to Lemieux, but he's on the boards. He's in. He doesn't have much room to maneuver. The Penguins keep it in now. Murphy gets it around to Lemieux. Nobody on him right now. His pass across. Block. Christian trying to clear it. Can't. Lemieux a shot. Great stop by Andy Moog. As Lemieux fired at that time. 25 seconds left on the Pittsburgh power play. 1-1 the score. 9:14 left, first period. Bork for Stevens. For Francis. Back to the point to Murphy. Murphy wraps it up. Blocked. And keeping it in is Francis. The pass in front this time is Bob Sweeney's interception. And clear. And out comes Hammond. Joe Bork ices it. That's 3 icings by Pittsburgh.
That's indicative of trying to find the long man. The guy cutting through the middle, trying to eliminate that center ice play. Find him 70, 80 feet away. They're looking for breakaways, looking for offense every time they touch the puck. Mario Lemieux gets a little bit of a break here. You said, Fred, now he comes out of the corner. Now this is when he's dangerous, when he's got a little open ice around him. Just parks right there, waits for the shot.
The Boston line, Neely, Růžička, and Janney, they combine for the score on a power play. Weimer is on defense with Wesley.
They're the go-to guys when the Pens have the man advantage.
On the board, Penguins get it. Loney breaks. Joe Mullen moving to the corner against Wesley. They battle. Francis trying to get it. In the corner, Wesley digs it free. Wesley starts back. Can't set up Janney. Right back comes Francis. Broken up by Wesley. Puck is lost. Kept in by Mullen. Knocked away. And the penalty coming up here. The signal from Maroelli. And it is Boston 1, Pittsburgh 1.
High stick
on NESN.
Ron Francis is off for high sticking. Wasn't quite sure why he was going, but the Bruins aren't going to argue about it. They'll take the power play.
Hey, Ronnie, more of a self-preservation cross-check to protect me. You know, save my body.
Bruins on the power play. Can't get a handle to it. Now Ray Bork with it.
Smart move there. Neely put his foot on the puck, stepped on it, controlled
Bork
it.
away from Young. Up for Růžička. Off for Wesley. Unloads it. And scores! Brian Wesley, a power play goal from Růžička and Bork to make it 2-1.
You know, Růžička's going to be one of those players. Every time he moves it, the other player's going to put it in the net.
You know, that's a heck of a shot by Wesley. You usually don't get those, but what a pass by Růžička. He has eyes to the side of his head.
Watch in traffic. He's going to get hit, but he curls it back. Now, Barrasso's on the way down. Just never got the hand. When that body's going down, the hand's coming with it. And Tommy tried to drop. Might have been tipped.
Hit the defenseman's stick, Derek.
That's what fooled him. And once your hands are going down, you cannot recover and come back up. Keep those hands low and come up at everything.
So the Bruins are 2 for 3 in the power play. That one is Wesley from Růžička and Bork.
Rosie now with 5 assists in 2 games.
Weimer back, intercepted by Jennings, gets it back. A lead now for Peter Doris. Can't get it. Yager trying to move it out. Bork able to keep it in. Knocks it around. Taglianetti there. The Bruins trying to get right on top of that Pittsburgh defense. They do then. And Taglianetti's clear is deflected into the stand. Wesley from Bork and Růžička at 11:53. It is Boston 2, Pittsburgh 1. Back in a moment.
The Wales Conference Championship is now in full gear, and NESN will hit the road to bring you coverage of Game 3 of this exciting playoff series. Cam Neely and company will look to upend the Penguins when they travel to Iron City, and all eyes will be focused to see if the Bees can win this first game in Pittsburgh. Things won't come easy for the Bruins, though, as they know of at least 66 reasons why they can ill afford to let up their attack. All of the action of Game 3 comes your way on NESN Sunday Night Live at 7:30.
Here's the tip-off of Taglianetti's stick as Wesley drives it. Right there.
Yes, enough.
Jennings now on defense. Bruins get right on top of him. Bork able to keep it in with Hoover. Hoover wraps it in deep. Doris trying to get to Taglianetti. It goes up to Trottier. In the center ice to Uri. Uri checked at the line by Bork. Weimer clears it right out. Rolls all the way. Jennings with it. Ex-Hartford Whaler. Bruins trying to get on top of him. They do enough so that Bork intercepts. Doris clears it back. Janney steals. Trying to put it in front. Blocked by Barrasso. Taken over by Burridge. Burridge lost it. And out comes Pittsburgh. Yager over the line. Tough to stop. Wheels it in, but the shot is wide. Janney digs it. Up for Burridge. Burridge able to clear it out as he's taken down. 6:48 left in the first period. 2-1 Boston. Both goals, power play goals. Cam Neely has one. He starts it out to Don Sweeney. Breaks over the line. Goes deep. And is broken up. Bob Sweeney covers for Don Sweeney on defense. Lemieux trying to break. He's stopped immediately by Galley. Puck to Neely. Neely for Janney. Janney over the line. Stops, cuts, broken up. Lemieux breaks. Lemieux may break in. Coming, check fight, and a shot and a save by Moog. Don Sweeney checked him. And out comes Janney with Neely. They can't combine. And have to start again. Lemieux with a threat and Moog with the big save. 2-1 Boston, 5:54 left. 8 shots Boston, 6 for Pittsburgh. Janney for Neely, fakes. Try to make a trick play, is stopped by Stanton. And Stanton rushes to center ice, to Uri, to Recchi rather, broken up in front of the net. Poked to the corner by Dave Christian, up for Poulin. Poulin wrapped up by Samuelson, and the puck kept in by the Penguins. Wesley has some time though. Francis forechecking, holding. Bruins in front 2-1. Christian winding up, looking for Poulin, can't hang on. Back is Samuelson, lets it away. Up on the right wing side, Kevin Stevens over the line, a power skater, drops it off. It's dropped off from Mullen. The shot blocked by Andy Moog, holding the short side with Francis right there. Bork with it, wide open hockey. Here comes Bork, center ice, unloads, a save by Barrasso, well out top of the crease. This clear, maybe icing. Well, they say Weimer could have reached it.
Well, when the linesman catches you and the foot race, they're going to definitely not.
Weimer pokes it in, can't collect, he stopped. Jennings with it. Bruins check, keep it in. Shot by Burridge as he flattened, goes wide. Taglianetti knocked him down. Here comes Yager, trying to break in. Good play there by Weimer, checked him over on the boards. And the Bruins try to get possession. Yager fights for it. Loney gets it. Out in front is Trottier. Taglianetti sweeps it in. Puck to Squeako. Up for Burridge. Breaks. One man back, Jennings. He's looking for some help. Stops and cuts. Mike Milbury wants a line change. 4 minutes left. First period, 2-1 Boston. And here comes Yager again. Has 2 men with him to Trottier. Check. goes for a shot here that is high and wide. Roberts trying to keep it in for Loney, who had that shot. Loney checked by Don Sweeney. Yager goes in to help out, gets it. Yager trying to make the play. Checked by Galley. Pinned on the boards. Loney in to get it. Checked by Don Sweeney. Burridge loses, and Lemieux scores! Came out from behind the net, and Lemieux ties it up.
Randy Burridge not happy with himself. He had this puck along the boards. He had picked up Mario Lemieux in front of the net. Burridge goes in, Lemieux comes around the back and pokes it through the feet. Now Moog makes the original contact save. Burridge just does not get there quick enough to shore up the open side. It was hard pressed there for a couple of minutes. The Penguins kind of turned it on. Strictly an individual play.
He had just come onto the ice, too. He hadn't been on the ice for any more than 10 seconds.
Mario Lemieux with that 6'4" height and reach. Had plenty of leverage on that one. Yager and Loney assist at 16:34. But that was a Mario Lemieux special to tie the game at 2. Neely runs into Samuelson, but is stopped on the play. Bob Sweeney gets it away. Over the line, trying to go in. Ridden off.
Nice play by Stanton.
Samuelson able to clear it out. Takes a hit in deep by Neely. The fans yelled at that one. There is Růžička. A save by Barrasso. Růžička walked in. And Barrasso, another big save. He's looked at 10 shots from Boston.
That hit his stick. That's why it was onside.
For all the latest breaking sports news and highlights, make sure to tune in to NESN every weekday morning from 5 to 8 and catch Sports Desk, the morning edition. Each morning Sports Desk will bring you up to date on the entire sports scene. So start your day off with 15 minutes of sports news, highlights, scores, and more. That's NESN Sports Desk with Amy Stone every weekday morning from 5 to 8 right here on NESN.
The Bruins have 2 power play goals, Neely and Wesley.
Růžička winds up for the big shot, and it allows Barrasso to get down where he wants to. Wrist shot might have beaten Tom up top, but Vladimír went to the far side, got a foot on it. Nice save.
Barrasso's made about 4 that have been labeled. That one by Růžička. Here's a lead for Poulin, too far. Huddy hustles in, gets it away from Roberts, puts it in front, blocked. Trying to fight for it again. On the point, Bourque wraps it up, stop. A lead out now. And breaking is a pass off for Mullen. Mullen to Francis, blocked by Ray Bourque. A big stop. A lost stick by Christian, though, and the Bruins trying to get the puck. They put a hand pass across. It doesn't work. Bruins in trouble as Squeako tries to flip it out. Does, into the stands anyway at all. Desperate times there.
This is kind of a lot like pond hockey.
You don't expect it in May.
No, it's wide open. Goaltender's nightmare, really. Right here's a great play. Francis all alone. Bourque isolated down low with Stevens behind him, blocks it. Christian comes in, then he loses his stick. And he stubs it with his foot. Everything happened after that.
The wheels came off all at once.
It's like being 2 under at the turn, and now, boom, gone.
Shots are 10-8 for Boston. 1:56 left here in the first period. 2-2 the score. It's everybody up for Pittsburgh. And too much wide open. Bruins don't want that. Pittsburgh's creating that tempo, and that's their style. But Boston's had their breakout chances. And here's one now for Poulin. And he is broken up at the line, and a poke check by Murphy. Back to cover Squeako. Squeako starts it back. Gets it for Christian. Christian gets it for Poulin. Had Don Sweeney all alone in front of. He could have gotten that pass across. Gets it back for Galley. Galley a shot wide. And the rebound, 34-year-old Joey Mullen trying to look for Stevens, couple of ex-Eagles. Out it is Moog handling it off the backboards to tie it up. 1:18 left, 2-2 to score, first period.
Joey Mullen's dangerous. Diminutive. Quick. Goal scorer. Made a nice play there to Stevens. That isn't a bouncing puck. Kevin Stevens was gone. Pittsburgh much more. He's more used to Dave, I think, with the open plays, with the open ice, making the plays up to people that are breaking into holes. Defense just seem to turn, get the puck. They don't look at a partner. They don't look for the save play. They look for the breakaway play. They get up and out.
Poulin against Trottier. Couple of veteran centermen. Yager on the right, Loney on the left. The draw to Wesley, to Bork, up the boards and out. Back for it is Jennings. He is on defense with Taglianetti. Neely into forecheck, a minute left. Bork trying to move in. The puck is cleared out by Pittsburgh. Yager taken down by Lazaro. Lazaro a lead too far for Neely. Neely broke it up, almost got through Jennings as Jennings gave it away. Barrasso has been the story, though, with some big saves on the Bruins. And Andy Moog's made his. Here comes Lazaro, getting to it, ahead of Taglianetti in front. Couldn't set it up. Bork trying to keep it in. It's broken up. Trottier gets it away for Yager. Yager going in. A backhander off the side of the net as he made a beautiful move. The 19-year-old Czechoslovakian can streak, and he had a breakthrough there.
Bouncing puck where Glenn Wesley Wesley gets beaten. He goes for the far side of the body with the high hook around the shoulder, just trying to throw things off so Yager can't get good wood on this. Right here, he's back here alone. Yager steals the puck. Now he's got the... Right here, he reaches up and comes around with it. Just enough to bother him. Tried the high hook on the shoulder, said no. Going to get caught with that one. But here's Lazaro just flying down that left side. Tries Neely. Jennings takes Cam in front of the net, out of the play.
That was an outstanding play by Glenn Wesley at the other end to stick check Yager. That just forced him to go wider than he wanted to and gave Moog time to get across and cover the short side. Little things make the difference.
Second effort, I think, is what Stanley Cup is all about. Every night.
This is not playoff hockey. Here's Samuelson firing it in. It deflects back in front under somebody's skate. Knocked around, wide by Pittsburgh. In for it, Recchi. Recchi checked by Poulin. Battles for it. Goes behind the net, but Lemieux is covered. He can't get it there. Now he does. He shovels it back for Murphy's turnaround shot and saved by Moog with 3 seconds left. Big stop, Andy Moog on Murphy. Pittsburgh thinking nothing but offense, giving the Bruins chances at the other end too. And in a wild one, it is Boston 2, Pittsburgh 2. Intermission highlights in a moment.
Okay, guys, I'll write it down for you. Cardholders get the 1990 Bruins highlight video, plus discounts, contests, and giveaways. The fans are gonna love these Bruins MasterCards. And did I mention the Pro Shop discounts, huh? I told you it's good in 8 million locations, right? I thought so.
To apply, call 1-800-432-GOAL.
Bobby, you won't forget to call 1-800-432-GOAL. What a guy, what a guy.
We are at the end of the first period from Boston Garden. This, of course, Game 2 of the Stanley Cup semifinals between the Bruins and the Penguins. The Bruins are 1-0 leaders in the series after their 6-3 win back on Wednesday night. And now, after the first period of Game 2, tied. Boston 2 and Pittsburgh 2, shots on goal in that first period, 11-10 Penguins. The Bruins battled all season long to keep enough healthy bodies available. They had a whole lot of injuries. Of course, Poulin several times, Carpenter for the season. Almost. There was that brief respite against Hartford. Burich, Růžička, and on and on. So it's nothing new, I guess, that it's happening again now in the postseason.
They are missing Rookie of the Year candidate Ken Hodge Jr. Status report now. Here's Steve Burton.
It happened during the 7th game versus Montreal. Ken Hodge was slammed up against the boards. The result? A separated shoulder.
Janney onside, flips it in deep. Too far for Hodge. Hodge gets it to Janney. Janney near the net. Leaves it for Neely. Back left point. Don Sweeney. The shot wide. As down goes Hodge. He is hurt in the corner. Janney was knocked down in front. Hodge. Could be an arm.
Well, I went into the corner to get the puck after Craig made a pass to me. Coming down on a 3-on-3, I think it was. And the puck kind of got behind me, and I went to turn back to pick it up. And the next thing I knew, I was head first into the boards, and I wasn't feeling too good when I skated off the ice. I thought I'd broke my collarbone or broke a rib because I couldn't really breathe that well, and I couldn't straighten my body up either. And I feared the worst, and right now the diagnosis looks pretty good, and hopefully be back for Game 4 or Game 5.
That's being overly optimistic. But the way the Bruins are healing these days, it would be foolish to doubt when Hodge will return. You remember Bob Carpenter. And what about Bob Sweeney? He separated his shoulder in Game 3 versus Montreal, and then shocked everybody when he returned for Game 7.
That's a separation in my AC joint in my shoulder, and the muscle from the top of your neck to the shoulder blade has been pulled pretty good. So, that's the only thing we got to worry about. When that muscle heals, then I'll be all right.
Hodge is viewing his injury in a positive light. The Beast 30-goal scorer was struggling during the playoffs, and time away from the game may be just what the doctor ordered.
Oh, that's an understatement, struggling, I think. But no, I wasn't playing very well. But I was hoping that Game 7 would be a start of good things to come. But it didn't work out. And now I get to watch and sit back and finally, see what's going on and what it really takes to win. And I needed just to sit back and take a day off and just look back and watch the guys play. I've never played over 90 games in a season, and this is the first time I've ever played that much. And it's nice to sit back and watch guys play, and we're playing real well now, and hopefully we'll continue to play well.
Oh yeah, and the hit. Was it cheap? You decide.
It was a Game 7 hit. How's that for you?
The Bruins and the Penguins ended the first period of the second game of their Stanley Cup semifinal. The score, Boston 2, Pittsburgh 2. Boston leading the series, 1-0 coming in. I'll be back with first period highlights for you when Bruins hockey continues tonight on your New England Sports Network. The score, the Boston Bruins 2, the Pittsburgh Penguins 2. At the end of the first period of their second game, best of 7 semifinals in the Stanley Cup playoffs. Next two games in the series will be in Pittsburgh on Sunday night and Tuesday night. You will see that Sunday night game here on NESN at 7:30. One of the Penguins' many Boston area guys, Tom Barrasso in goal for them, Andy Moog there again for the Bruins. Power play chance for the Bees when old friend Ulf Samuelsson gets whistled for 2 early in the first. The result is a goal, Boston.
Růžička behind the net, trying to make the play. Looking. Neely. Score! Neely from Janney and Růžička.
5:23 the time, 15th of the postseason for Neely, but the Bruins didn't get to enjoy it very long. 13 seconds later, Kevin Stevens was knocking one in to tie it for the Penguins. 5:36. Midway through, the Bruins with another power play.
Up for Růžička, off for Wesley, and loads it and scores!
Bruins are 2 for 3 on their extra man situation. You hear so much about Mario Lemieux's reach. Real good example of it here. He comes out from behind the net, scores the second of the game for Pittsburgh, tied at 2-2. Pattern to the game so far, Bruins score, Pittsburgh responds, and that's the way it's gone. Neely with his 15th at 5:23 on the power play. 13 seconds later, it was Pittsburgh on the board. 5:36, it was Stevens from Recchi and Francis. The Bruins then 2-1 leaders on Glenn Wesley's goal at 11:53. Another power play for the Bruins. And then at 16:34, Mario Lemieux's 6th of the postseason, and the game is tied at the end of one period of play. This is the only action in hockey tonight. The other series at Game 2 in Edmonton tomorrow night, Minnesota the leader as a result of their 3-1 win last night in the opening game of that series out at the Northlands Coliseum. A NESN Stanley Cup flashback, an update on the Red Sox from New Comiskey Park in Chicago tonight, and hockey's awards finalists, all when Bruins hockey continues on NESN. Exactly a year ago tonight, Game 1 of the Wales Conference Finals, the Bruins and the Caps. Mike Milbury was the rookie coach for the Bruins, and Terry Murray replaced his brother earlier in the year, the new kid on the block for the Caps. Score was tied, 3-3, third period when Brian Propp broke that tie.
Wesley gives it to Propp. Back. Score! Propp from Neely with 5:22 left. Brian Propp makes it 4-3.
And the Garden crowd loving every minute of it. Andy Moog makes that one-goal stand. Stone's Kelly Miller with less than 2 minutes to go. And Dave Poulin puts the game away with an empty netter. The Bruins take the first game by a score of 5-3. Now the Bruins come into their game with the Penguins tonight 1-0 leaders in the series. At the end of the first period of play, they are tied with the Pittsburgh Penguins at 2 apiece. Interesting night in Chicago. The Rocket, Roger Clemens, back from his 5-game suspension and taken a string of 30 consecutive scoreless innings into his start against the Chicago White Sox at the new Comiskey Park. But that string of 30 in a row ended in the first inning. After a leadoff single by Tim Raines, Lance Johnson pops up a bunt, but it pops out of Roger Clemens' glove. And then Robin Ventura with a bunt single. This loads the bases for the White Sox in the 5th inning. Clemens then walked Thomas with the bases loaded to make it 1-0 Chicago. They have scored another in that first inning. It is 2-0 Chicago at the end of one, and Roger Clemens' string of consecutive scoreless innings is over. By the way, Game 3 of this Bruins-Pittsburgh series at the Civic Center in Pittsburgh, their Igloo. That'll be on Sunday night, 7:30 here on NESN. Bruins Digest, as always, 30 minutes prior. That'll be at 7 o'clock. The 3 finalists for all of hockey's 7 major awards were announced earlier this week. We kind of thought maybe you'd like to have a look. Candidates for the Hart Trophy as the league's most valuable player: Ed Belfour, the rookie goalie for the Blackhawks, Wayne Gretzky, and the Golden Brett Hull of St. Louis. For the Norris, as the league's best defenseman, Ray Bourque, who won it last year, again has another shot, along with Chris Chelios of the Blackhawks and Al McInnes of Calgary. Candidates for the Selke Trophy: the man judged the best defensive forward in the game, Dirk Graham of the Blackhawks, Steve Larmer also of Chicago, and Esa Tikkanen of the Oilers. Now, the only place a Bruin has a shot other than Bourque for the Norris is Ken Hodge, who's in the running for Rookie of the Year. The Calder Trophy, Ed Belfour is a likely winner, though, with Sergei Fedorov of Detroit and Hodge as the other nominees. Candidates for the Lady Byng Sportsmanship Award: Gretzky, Hull, and Quebec's Joe Sakic. For the Vezina Trophy, as the league's top goaltender, there is Belfour again from the Blackhawks, Mike Richter from the Rangers, and Montreal's Patrick Roy, despite all the games he missed because of injuries. And sort of a surprise here, the Adams Trophy as Coach of the Year does not include Mike Milbury as a nominee. Mike Keenan of Chicago is one, Brian Sutter of St. Louis, and Tom Webster of the Kings are the 3 candidates. And the Bruins and the Penguins are through the first period of play at Boston Garden. The score tied, Boston 2, Pittsburgh 2. Second period now with Fred Cusick, Derek Sanderson, and Dave Shea.
All right, Tommy, taking a look at those Coach of the Year nominees, talked to Mike Milbury about it this morning. Last year, I thought he was a lock for Coach of the Year, and Bob Murdoch got it. Of course, Bob Murdoch's out of work now. I asked Mike if he was disappointed that he wasn't even nominated this year, in which I thought he did a great job considering all the injuries and that. And Mike said, hey, the 3 guys who are nominated are all out of the playoffs right now. I'm sure they'd trade the nomination to be in the semifinals. So he's pretty much taking it in stride. But I just don't understand why Mike Milbury's not even nominated.
Well, I can see you're a little bit hurt by it, but I tell you, it's a kiss of death anyway. It's like the cover of Sports Illustrated. You ever get that? You're finished. That's an old...
Did you ever get on?
Yeah, I ended up finished. I was on it. I shared it with 2 others who retired the next year, and then, you know, it was a kind of an action shot. It was certainly not a profile of yours.
I was going to say.
Of yours truly, like I was doing things that were.
You weren't the cover story?
Nah.
Who would you vote for Coach of the Year? Keenan, Sutter, or Williams? Excuse me, Webster.
Tommy Webster, the big criteria there is that he so reduced their goals against. I think where that move came from also is they had Bertiom played extremely well for them, and Rudy. But I don't know what really. I think Brian Sutter is probably a player's coach. I mean, if I was wanting to play for somebody, it would be.
But aside from that, I mean, you're going to pick your coach. You didn't play for him. You're just an observer. Right. Kind of hard not to give it to Keenan.
Well, if you know his coaching technique, and when you're inside the game a little bit, you might have your doubts there.
Underway, second period. Roberts pokes it up. Francis trying to get it. Janney trying to move it out, does. Murphy with it with Roberts. Center ice, Růžička, steal. Over the line, still goes. In for Janney. Janney trying to cut in for Neely. Can't get the shot away, it was blocked. Follow-up shot by Don Sweeney. Check. Růžička puts it in front. Just eludes Neely. Neely back for Bork. Bork snaps it in. Tipped by Růžička, but stayed wide. Janney with it. Bork. Shot. Scores! Ray Bork from Janney to make it 3-2 Boston.
I think Růžička may be in on this as well, but what a play to Ray Bork. Talking about a no-nonsense release.
Yeah, you would have thought the Bruins were on a power play the way they control the puck.
Pittsburgh they're caught standing around. See how they're just standing, watching for things to happen? And the Bruins are moving. And that's really what makes everything happen.
Růžička did deflect that pass over to Janney. He should get an assist on this, which would be 3 more assists. 6 assists in 2 games. Baker down in the truck tells us the Bruins have not lost the game that Craig Janney has a point in. I assume that's the playoff. It is the playoff.
Wesley rolls it up, and Růžička gets it assist. Galley now, lead for Duras. Duras hustles, gets it. His shot blocked by Recchi. Samuelson moves it now to Paul Stanton. Former Catholic Memorial star, University of Wisconsin. Spent a year in Muskegon, too. And here's a lead. All alone is Bork. And he missed it. Phil Bork walked right in and missed the net.
Nice play by Wesley.
Puck bounces around. Stanton with it. It's still that wide open style. Bruins would like to calm it down a bit. Burridge knocked down by Phil Bork.
Randy hit him like walking into a wall.
Burridge trying to combat. Broken up by Stanton. Puck now touched and ruled offside. Phil Bork is a great, great story. 6 years in the minor leagues. He would never have made it to Pittsburgh except Gene Ubriaco, who coached him at Baltimore, made the head coach of Pittsburgh, and he said, hey, he's a fine player, bring him up, and he is.
That happens so often. Right here, Galley had taken a run at someone at the far blue line. There's Wesley with a slash. Just enough. It bothers the power hand on top, the direction hand, control hand. Next thing you know, boom, just gets out of his reach. Desperation's kind of a slash on the stick and hands.
Great thing about Phil Bork, he'll do anything you ask him to do. He'd play goal if you asked him to.
Weimer clears it out, but it's stopped by Jennings. Bork trying to check the play over the line. Yaga broken up. Puck wrapped around by Weimer. Out comes Poulin. Poulin over the line. Trying to set up Squeako. He's pinched off on the play. And Jennings gets it. Bruins forecheck. Squeako is knocked down in deep. Trottier breaks it out. Up the middle. He gives it to Yaga. Yaga. Pass across. And the shot missed by Airy. Wide open hockey still. Walking in. The defenseman missed the play. Samuelson. Penalty coming up here. Interference.
Maybe Weimer.
Had to be something called.
Boston 3, Pittsburgh 2. Back in a moment on NESN.
Now you can't let Yager back in front. There's the trip. Samuelson's got the puck off to the side of the net. Got to shore up the D a little bit tighter than that.
This is Pittsburgh's third power play. They're 0 for 2. The Bruins are 2 for 3 in power plays. Francis is out there with Lemieux and Mullen.
Bill Bork on the point.
Lemieux takes it away from Poulin. Then is blocked, and Poulin is able to clear it out as Lemieux tried to set up Joe Mullen. This Pittsburgh great offense. They go for passing to set up a really good shot. Mullen hit, and the play broken up by Poulin as he knocked it away from Francis. Lazaro and Poulin out there with Wesley and Bork. Boston leads 3-2. Bill Bork plays the left point on the power play. He's a penalty killer. He's a regular left winger. And Joe Mullen falls down as he clears it in. Bork trying to fire it out. Oh, it almost slowed down enough for Poulin and a breakaway. A follow-up by Lazaro. Tries a backhander. And blocked. Now it deflects off the stick at center ice into the stands on the face-off call. 1:07 on the Pittsburgh power play. 3-2 Boston second period.
Talking to Bob Tyndall, Bruins scout. Before the game, we were talking about how the Bruins have the reputation now of having small forwards. But I'll tell you what, we both agreed Jeff Lazaro is exciting. He's the kind of guy that gets you up out of your seat just through sheer speed. And even though he's a raw rookie, makes mistakes, sometimes he doesn't know it, but he's making the other guy make a mistake just because he's so darn fast.
He makes the other guy hurry. He's so quick, he's on you. Go, oh my God, this guy's on me. And then you just move the puck quicker than you intend to. When he learns how to play left wing, he's going to be great.
Wesley able to clear it as the Bruins get the face-off. Lemieux stays out there. He's joined by Recchi and Stevens now. 55 seconds on this power play. Stevens looking for Lemieux behind the defense. Gets it, fires. Short side as he got it off the boards. And Moog made the stop. Lemieux floats at the Boston blue line. 40 seconds on the power play. Murphy away now to Stevens. Stevens over the line. Off on the left. Trying to get it back from Recchi, and he can't do it. He is spilled. Net dislodged. Face-off call.
I don't know if Kevin's upset that he didn't redirect it in or that he got tripped up.
No, he's upset that he didn't redirect it in. He thought he got it. I think he delayed for it. The pass is coming because he makes a nice dish off right here and breaks through. Right to him. Just doesn't get all the wood on it he wants. And he kind of, his legs ran into Moog.
He is such a competitor, Kevin Stevens. Very intense when he's on the ice.
Legitimate all-star left winger there.
Nice to see so many local products make it big. Pembroke, Boston College, Silver Lake High School.
Rada Murphy kept in. Lemieux drills it, misses. Rebound, Lazaro. And he clears.
Jeff Lazaro made a nice play there. He looked at Dave Poulin, looked at 3 Penguins back, and got it down.
Here comes Murphy off for Recchi. Recchi broken up, and Scott Young has to try it. 8 seconds left. Gets it away for Recchi. Recchi closing. The shot was saved by Andy Moog. And they clear it by Murphy.
Andy Moog looks a lot sharper here in the early stages of the second period than he did during the first.
Up now to Recchi. Recchi's pass broken up by Galley. Vladimír Růžička has 3 assists on the 3 Boston goals. 2 of them power play goals. The last one by Bork. Out comes Lazaro. He's still on. Away to Růžička. Trying to set up Janney. Broken up. Penguins break. Over the line. Right in alone. A save on Yager by Andy Moog. And the Bruins defense almost as loose as the Pittsburgh defense.
It's a bad habit.
Oh,
you get to watch it at the other end of the building, and you tend to take the same time, the same chances.
Here's a lead. Neely with Janney. Neely unloads. It's blocked wide by Samuelson. Back foot Yarger. The quick clear. Back goes Hammond. Up for Růžička. Janney. Růžička again. He gets it over the line for Janney. Janney trying to cut in with Neely. Neely gets it. Checked on the play. Gets away. Is broken up as he was stopped. Here's a breakaway. Yager just stopped by Wesley as he almost moved in alone again. A And this one hits Marawelli. The puck stays in the Boston zone. Bruins trying to move it out. Can't. Shot by Taglianetti. Misses. Neely strikes it out. Cleared in. Wide open hockey. On your local pond, you'll never see it more wide open than this.
Very true. Very true.
Boston 3, Pittsburgh 2. Back in a moment on NESN.
Right here, Jaromir Jagr. Good second effort by Wesley. Came from the other side of the building. Not only in on the original play, but then in the second end of it. Andy Moog right here. Wow. Jagr really can't get a handle to it.
3-2 Boston, 13:55 left in the second period in a wide open game, and the Bruins really shouldn't be playing in this style at all. Over the line now, the play is offside. France is in ahead.
You know, I made a comment earlier about a second effort being a big thing in Stanley Cup playoffs, which Fred jumped on me saying that it's not Stanley Cup playoff. It's type of hockey that we're watching, but the offense is there. I mean, both teams have really just thrown it and working, fighting off their checks and fighting off their, you know, their defensive opponents out there and doing it offensively.
Jennings fires it in. Mullen trying to keep it in. Broken up by Squeako. Squeako lead for Christian. Christian coming on Jennings. Fires, blocked. Taglianetti checked by Squeako. Puck kept in by Weimer, and a beautiful play. Christian across for Squeako. The shot blocked by Barrasso and stayed wide as he covered the short side. Only the Bruins' second shot of the period. The first one was a goal by Bork. Bork winding up in the Boston end, and this will be icing. Nobody there to collect it. Because right wingers are playing left wing. They're all over the ice. Everybody. Positional hockey is out.
On 2 occasions that the puck has been on the right side of the building and the play's gone over to the left and no one's over there but one guy.
3-2 Boston. Back in a moment on NESN.
Bruins would be a much better hockey club if they had Stefan Kuntel there on your right. Kenny Hodge in the lineup. Bobby Carpenter as well. Missing some bodies. Lyndon Byers. Penguins pretty healthy. Aside from a big minus of Paul Coffey.
Poulin waved out. Burridge will take the faceoff. Bob Sweeney out there to cover Lemieux on the wing. It is Recchi, Stevens, and Lemieux. Lemieux loses to Poulin. Tried to drop it. Poulin rushes on Stanton. Going deep. Trying to cut in. Gets a backhander away, and Barrasso covers up. Fine rush by Dave Poulin down the right wing.
Also good defense by Paul Stanton.
Great rush by Poulin.
And Poulin really very quick. Stanton really doesn't. He's looking around. Who's he going to make the play to? And then Poulin decides maybe I can beat him. I haven't seen him very much before, but to no avail. Paul Stanton stayed right with him all the way.
Dave Christian made a nice play off that draw, too, to allow that puck to get free to Poulin. He tied up Lemieux.
No easy task.
Burridge on the draw. Deep sprint. Knocks it in deep. Samuelson winding up now. The clear out. Bob Sweeney back to get it. Goes deep with Lemieux moving on him. Burridge gets it out. Check. Duras trying to break. Checked by Stevens. Strong, powerful forward. Kevin Stevens. What a player. Here comes Recchi. Play offside at the line.
Good play. Galley took Herdina offside.
This copyrighted program is brought to you under pay cable TV rights granted by the Boston Bruins solely for the entertainment of our viewing audience. Any publication, rebroadcast, retransmission, or other use of the accounts and descriptions of this game without the written consent of the New England Sports Network and the Boston Bruins is prohibited. So don't you dare do it.
And here Don Sweeney kind of got off the blue line a little bit. Poked the puck away.
Nice little sweep check off of Recchi.
Herdina another Czech player. He was acquired to accompany Jágr, helping in the language barrier. And what a plus that Jágr is. Hrdina wraps it in. Ken Hammond back for Boston. Bruins lead 3-2. Hooked in by Murphy. Bounces. No, he didn't keep it in, they say, and a face-off again.
Now the players...
Hrdina came out of Calgary. He's not only a translator. I mean, he can...
By way of Czechoslovakia.
Yeah, a good hockey player. I mean, he had a nice year in Calgary. I don't know what happened with the Flames. They let Joey Mullen go. Hrdina.
A lot of talent up there, I guess.
A lot of talent.
They let this guy go, too.
And they keep getting beat.
Hrdina and Jágr. All the good Czechoslovakian players, they all looked up to Vladimír Růžička as the man in Czechoslovakia.
Puck is cleared in. Bruins around the boards. Wesley trying to keep it in. It's knocked away. And Erie coming, going deep. Shot. Misses. Long rebound. Lazaro trying to move it out. Checked by Murphy. Kept in for Erie. Erie hit by Wesley. Knocked down. Gets it in front. And Jágr gets a shot. Blocked. And the puck again. And a backhander missed as Hrdina had one. Murphy able to keep it in. The Bruins running around in their zone. And can't move it out. Still kept in by Erie. Fires one. Moog finally able to trap it after making the save at a faceoff. Boston 3. Pittsburgh 2. Back in a moment on NESN.
Well, the puck was maybe a foot or two short of the blue line. Jeff Lazaro had it right here. Gets poked away by Murphy. Back in it stays. And everything after that was offense by Pittsburgh. And you're at the blue line. Good hit there by Wesley, but protecting the puck well is Erie. Here comes Jágr. 2-3 chances the Penguins had after that.
The Bruins are going to have to create some pressure down at that other end. They have had just 3 shots, but one by Bourque, and it's the 3-2 lead. Pittsburgh's had 6. And Recchi out there with Stevens and Lemieux. Double shifting this line. Bob Johnson, he wants the equalizer. Hoover on the draw. Samuelson the shot, deflected wide, kept in by Stanton. Shot and a save, big one. Kept in by Lemieux to the corner. Big stop there. Now Stanton again, fakes, moves into the corner, puts it in front, blocked. Moog able to tie it up. And just tremendous pressure on Andy Moog, who's got to be a tired man already. 18 shots by Pittsburgh.
Okay, first thing the Bruins are going to have to start doing, they're going to have to start covering these points. Pittsburgh is generating much too much offense from back there. Bruins starting to look around for the puck, trying to steal it, looking for points. This happens when you play an offensive team. You tend to think that you can fill the net as well, but if you start letting people get things down low right there from the point. There's Francis in there, a little conversation with Moog. Poking a smile.
Looked like Recchi was trying to shot put that in.
Well, if Barrasso was the story in the first period, Moog is in the second, as the Bruins, in a wide open game, hemmed in on the last 2 line shifts by Pittsburgh.
Andy Moog wanted out of Edmonton because come playoff time he was always behind Grant Fuhr. Now he's the Iron Man in goal.
Stanton just misses on the shot. Samuelson able to keep it in. Lemieux, Stevens, the turnaround, blocked. Bruins fail. Now it's Bourque with it. They again fail to clear it, but they get control. Ray Bourque with it. Fires a save by Barrasso. Stanton starts it back. Janney is out. Bob Sweeney and Neely. Janney with it. Intercepted at center ice. Fed back in by Taglianetti. Pittsburgh.
I think Mario's going to get it.
If Sweeney's bleeding.
If he's bleeding, Mario's gone.
Gone from the game.
No, he's not bleeding. Hit him with the glove, smart enough to keep the stick away from his face.
It is 3-2 Boston on NESN, second period.
Right here, high sticking for Mario Lemieux. Bob Sweeney got the butt end of the stick out just to kind of hook onto the arm. There's the glove. Catches him in the head. Didn't look like a stick got him.
Boston's fourth power play. They are 2 for 3. Boston leads 3-2. 10:27 left in the second period. Růžička figured in all 3 goals. Off for Wesley. Wesley over the line and deep. Puts it in front. Nearly can't collect. Janney does. Janney is intercepted. Phil Bourque breaking. Wesley trying to cut him off. Does. Bourque stops. Gets it. Bruins now get control. Craig Janney with 2 assists for the Bruins. Cam Neely starts it out. Away to Janney. Janney over the line. Stops. Moves it for Růžička. Too far ahead. On the boards. But for. And dug out by Taglianetti. Fired it into the stands. And the faceoff will be to the right of Barrasso. 1:02 left on the Boston power play.
The Boston Red Sox are back on NESN next Tuesday and Wednesday nights at 7:30 when Kirby Puckett, Jack Morris, and the Minnesota Twins come to Fenway Park. Bob Kurtz brings you Red Sox Digest each night at 7. Then at 7:30, Ned Martin and Jerry Remy take over as the Sox take on the Twins Tuesday and Wednesday nights live on NESN.
And the face-off to the right of Barrasso. 9:40 left in period number 2. 3-2 the Bruins. Cam Neely, Glenn Wesley, Ray Bourque have scored their goals. Kevin Stevens, Mario Lemieux for Pittsburgh. Mike Milbury holds with the Neely, Janney, Růžička line. The draw back to Wesley. Cleared in deep. Now goes to Urey and he fires it up. Wesley winding up. Trottier a penalty killer along with Urey, Samuelson and Stanton. Wesley to Neely. Neely over the line for Bourque. Wraps it in. Barrasso trying to clear it himself. Stopped by Bourque. In deep for Janney. Janney behind the net. Checked on the boards. Digging for it with Stanton. Trying to get it to Růžička. Růžička gets it. Gets it back. Wesley. Cross for Bourque. Back for Wesley. Shot. Just trickled wide on a deflection. Can't clear it. Bourque kept it in. Růžička to Wesley. He's broken up. And Urey starts back. Checked at the line. Penalty just about up. Full strength now. Pittsburgh. Poulin broken up. Back comes Francis. Francis with Mullen. In for Lemieux. In front. Hopped over the stick of Francis, who was alone in front. Neely clears it out. Takes a stick from Francis. And back now comes Ron Francis. Pass behind his winger, Joe Mullen, by Lemieux. Mullen's shot went wide. The rebound kept in. Bruins need a change. Ray Bourque trying to get it away. He's bothered, broken up. And it's cleared by Poulin. That gives Mike Milbury a chance to change.
You're right, Fred. They were out there a long time. Not only the power play, but caught another minute. Their own end.
Over the line, Don Sweeney knocks it away from an onrushing Francis, but into the stands. And a face-off called. Boston 3, Pittsburgh 2 on NESN, second period. Dave Poulin out there against Lemieux. Lemieux, Stevens, Recchi. Lemieux taking the face-off. Stanton and Samuelson are inside the line.
There's a cuff in the head. Francis on Neely.
Bruins kick it out. Samuelson wraps it back. Galley deflected into the stands off the Penguin Recchi, and it's face-off outside the line.
They're tending to Craig Janney over on the Bruin bench. He's been walking up and down the runway, sitting down, being looked at, getting up and walking around some more. I guess he's all right now. I don't remember him getting popped. You, Chick?
A lead now for Poulin. Poulin and Samuelson. A follow-up by Squeako trying to keep it in against Stanton. A battle to the right of Barrasso. Stanton checked by Squeako. Knocked down. Squeako gets it. Couldn't get it to Christian in front at the right time. And a breakout by Stevens. Stevens to Lemieux. Locked. Kept in by Recchi. Recchi fires in deep. Lemieux with it near the net. Puts it in front, but it slides to Christian. And Don Sweeney breaks it out. Over the line to Poulin. Poulin closing. Shot. Blocked. Poulin overskates it. Penguins trying to break. A shot in by Bork. Blocked. Christian can't get the rebound. And the long clear here. Moog handling it with Lemieux moving on him. For Bork. Bork able to flip it out. Winding up now is Recchi. Lazaro, Bob Sweeney out there now. Penguins bang it in the Boston zone. Bruins lead 3-2 to go-ahead goal second period. Bruins breaking it out. Weimer, 2-on-1 maybe. Christian going in. Looks. And it's blocked wide. Weimer able to keep it in front. Lazaro, a backhander missed. Christian on the right wing boards. Behind the net for Lazaro. He is broken up. And Trottier gets it away, and the Penguins break it to center ice. Jennings intercepted. Weimer, a lead now for Duras. Duras gets it with great skating. Goes deep behind the net. Trying to make the play in front. Can't do it. Penguins can't clear it. Interception, Bob Sweeney looking for Duras. Duras checked. Broken up. Penguins break it out. Here comes Jágr. 3-on-2. Broken up and a poke check by Weimer. A big play, and Lazaro on the loose puck. Try to make a play at the line. It's blocked. Gets it back. Hammond with it. Big defensive play by Weimer on a 3-on-2. His poke check stopped the Penguins. Penguins back. Phil Bourque gets it away for Jágr. He's broken up. Puck kept in by Francis for Phil Bourque. No goal. He says it was in. The net was dislodged. Marawelli says no. Phil Bourque thought the puck went over the goal line, which maybe it did, but the net was off its mooring.
Phil Bourque was the one that knocked it off. The action going to the net. Good play. Bourque has an argument. It can be called, not necessarily because the net's off the moorings. Is a play nullified?
Boston 3, Pittsburgh 2. Back in a moment on NESN.
Well, we're going to take a look at it.
You're going to have a little controversy.
You can call it at home. There it is. Why, oh, there's Moog's knee. Now it's coming off the moorings.
I'd have to see that from another angle.
I think Phil Bourque had an argument, but
well, he lost it.
Quickly called by Marawelli. Yeah, they're not going to let too many women with no net there. I mean, this isn't...
Poulin on the faceoff wins it for Wesley. He's on defense with Hammond. Poulin with Janney and Neely. Wesley lost it, got it.
Seems to be an awful lot of ice shaving out there. A lot of snow there tonight.
Now Janney starts it out. Janney gets away from Francis. Gains the line. But the play is offside. 4:45 left here in the second period.
Mentioned to you earlier that the Bruins have not lost a playoff game this postseason, that Craig Janney has scored at least a point in. Of the games that he has not scored a point in, they have lost all but one.
Aha.
I don't know if that's enough to say, as goes CJ, goes the Bruins, but I think that's a rather telltale statistic.
Harry Sinnott had some great things to say about him today in the paper.
He's having a great postseason.
He's a great player, and you know, he's much maligned for his defensive abilities, and I think he's pretty sound defensively, taking the body more than he ever did.
Let's see it again. This is Phil Bourque.
Now it's into Moog's knee. There it is. Hasn't hit the net yet. It's on the way. It's It's off the moorings.
Not behind him yet.
There we have the puck. We'll have to give one to Marawali.
Marawali couldn't see from the other side. Moak's body had the whole thing blocked off.
Out comes Murphy. Christian fell down, and Murphy gains the line, moves to the corner, loses to Hammond. Hammond up the boards, intercepted by Mullen. Back in the corner, Mullen. They're trying to center it. Mullen, turn around and a save by Andy Moog. Mullen was able to come out from behind the net and put the backhander on, just as Lemieux did when he scored.
4 Pittsburgh Penguins behind the net. Caution to the wind. Roberts in there, Murphy in there. Different times.
That guy needs eyes in the back of his head with that many Penguins in deep.
Here's the wraparound. There's Francis. Dave Poulin just doesn't get back to Mullen in time. That's a tricky place to get it. Joey Mullen takes an extra swipe.
Glenn Wesley was trying to decide which side of that net to commit to. And once he committed to Andy Moog's right, he went in deep and lost his footing. Couldn't stay up with Mullen. Couldn't check him as he came out. That's why Mullen was all alone coming out from behind.
People give Joey Mullen a little bit too much room to operate. It's a lot tougher than people think. He's not very big, but he's tougher than people give him credit for.
Paul Stanton seeing a lot of action, and here comes Kevin Stevens. Checked by 2 Bruins in deep. Janney gets it free, and Don Sweeney gets it out. And they say Samuelson should have handled it. No icing. Samuelson up to Stevens. Now to Recchi. They're watching Lemieux. Recchi rolls it in. Back is Neely. Neely is intercepted by Recchi. Puck slides in deep to the corner. Bruins failure to clear. Penalty coming up on Boston. Another power play for the Penguins, as the Bruins have a 3-2 lead, and you might say they're clinging to it.
Well, Cam Neely didn't think there was any doubt as to who Dan Marawali was going to be whistling. He went directly to the box. Holding was a signal that Marawali gave.
The reaction to the giveaway. Cam gave it away. Now he's not about to let Mario Lemieux put it in the net. Here's Neely on a curl around. He's got it. He snaps the play up, not spotting.
Whoops.
Recchi. Now Recchi sneaks around one way, the other way. Then he makes the play down low. But see, Neely, Mario Lemieux could have gotten to that puck if Neely had to grab them, turned him around. So.
Oh, in that case, good penalty.
Good penalty, yeah. You don't want Mario Lemieux with a puck 12 feet in front of your netminder.
4th power play for the Penguins. So far, they are 1 for 10 in the first 2 games.
A lot of times you don't really look to score a shorthanded goal, but against Pittsburgh, it's more than possible.
Wesley able to clear as the Bruins win the faceoff. Dave Poulin winning that one. Wesley and Bourque are on there. A lot of pressure on them. They're playing a lot in this close game. Over the line, Ray Bourque gets it up for Lazaro, and he clears.
Lazaro once again waiting for Poulin to break. The veteran says no, not this time.
Shots are 8-4 Pittsburgh. This could be icing. Pittsburgh icing. 1:25 left. Face-off down to the left of Barrasso. Total shots are 19 Penguins, 14 Boston. The Bruins lead it 3-2. Dave Poulin, Jeff Lazaro with Wesley and Bourque. And Dave Poulin has done a nice job on faceoffs. Bob Johnson replacing Young now with Phil Bourque, who moves back to a point position. Young and Murphy. Phil Bourque with it. 29 years old. That's the number he wears. Out of Chelmsford. Up for Murphy. Across for Recchi. Broken up by Bourque. Big play. Kevin Stevens was cruising right in front. Bourque wheels it around the boards. Murphy able to keep it in. In deep for Recchi. For Stevens. In front. Blocked by Bourque. Loose. Shot by by Lemieux, and it's wide and taken down on the play is Recchi.
Oh, boy, and Recchi's got a beef. Glenn Wesley just took Recchi right off his feet and into the mooring. Recchi said, hey, I never touched the puck. He can't do that.
The way this game is played sometimes, totally illegal, but Recchi does not have the puck. Not eligible to be knocked on your back. Oh, he touched the puck. Recchi touched it.
Hit him in the skate, huh?
They come in contact with the puck, no penalty. That pop, nice shoulder check, no problem.
Yeah.
Good call.
Back to Murphy. One-timer by Lemieux and a save by Andy Moog. Puck kept in. Burridge trying to move in the play. Phil Bourque keeps it free along the line. He loses it to Poulin. It's cleared away. Poulin replaced. Burridge is out there. It's Bob Sweeney and Burridge now. Don Sweeney and Ray Bourque. 30 seconds left. Pittsburgh moves it for Murphy. Bourque. What happened to Phil Bourque? He missed a glorious chance for a backhand lift and a score.
What a break for the Bruins that was.
15 seconds left. Got to see that Phil Bourque play again. Don Sweeney skates it free with beautiful stick handling. Got away from Lemieux. Kills time. Gets it over the line. Drops it for Bob Sweeney. And that killed off the penalty to Neely. He's back out.
I think survive, Fred, is a more apropos term.
Yes.
Hard hit by Lazaro. Knocked down Murphy, and the fans applaud. 1:20 left here, second period. It is 3-2 Boston. Batted into the stands. Bob Murphy might have knocked it in. Lemieux and Bob Murphy are...
Let me tell you about Mario Lemieux. Very often he's up for the Lady Byng, but Mario Lemieux can fight. Bob Sweeney a little challenge there. Mario Lemieux, Dave, is a very good fighter, I understand. Never fought him, but...
1:17 left. The faceoff just outside the Pittsburgh line. Boston leads 3-2. 2-2 at the end of the first period. The only goal in the second by Ray Bourque, set up by Janney and Růžička. Růžička has 3 assists. Janney has 2 assists. The other goals, power plays, Cam Neely and Glenn Wesley. Kevin Stevens and Mario Lemieux scored for Pittsburgh in the first period.
Well, I'll tell you what, if I were the Bruins, I would do my darndest to avoid taking another penalty tonight. That's going to catch up sooner or later.
Yeah.
Pittsburgh is just missing a little bounce of the puck here or whatever, but they've had so many opportunities. It's a wonder it's not in the net.
Here's a little conversation. Oh, yeah, oh, yeah.
A defenseman playing an excellent game, Don Sweeney. He's made several fine moves, and here comes Pittsburgh. Ron Francis with Urey.
Too much of this.
Broken up by Bourque. Cleared out. Knocked back in. The Bruins. Wesley has some time. Wesley is on now. Janney lost it, though, and the Penguins keep it in. Working it right in deep. Flicked across in front, and Janney just checked Yager.
Bruins are playing the puck.
They Francis. Broken up. Neely hits Samuelson. The puck is knocked out. Penguins start right back. Over the line, Yager. A shot and a save and a screen by Andy Moog. Samuelson hits Neely, and they're battling. Now they'll probably be going. Well, Samuelson will be going. Wait a minute.
Neely's going.
Neely.
Well, he waits till the Bruins touch the puck.
Mike Milbury is going to jump right out of his suit. Right out of his suit.
Samuelson and Neely.
Going to get it for holding. Then there's the attempted spear.
Got him for roughing there. They got him the second time right here.
Why? They ran into each other.
Bang, right there. There's the rough. That's when the arm went up.
Yeah, a right palm in the mouth doesn't.
Mike Milbury is seething.
Wow. The heat of battle.
This is the 5th power play for Pittsburgh. The Bruins get the draw. Dave Poulin has been winning faceoffs.
Bruins
able to clear.
I made comment of it earlier. Bruins are chasing the puck. You don't want to be doing that. You want to be taking the body on occasion. There's a time and a place to be going after the puck.
4 seconds left. Stevens poked away by Ray Bourque. So we go to the second period. The Penguins will still be on there. Here's jamming Stevens and Moog. Let's see what's happening here.
Scott Young and Lazaro, they were getting into it at the other end of the building.
And linesman moving in, and the referee.
Well, the Penguins have accomplished
Wesley
one
Murphy.
thing, and that is they've got Cam Neely now thinking about anything but playing his game.
No, they got Cam Neely to be fine.
They have to get Cam to calm down in the room between periods.
Go down between periods, a little talking to the guys will calm him down. There's a couple of Penguins you have to calm down. Oh, Samuelson will play that aggravating, agitating style.
Boston 3, Pittsburgh 2 after 2 periods on NESN. Intermission highlights in a moment.
Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Right Guard Sports Stick from Gillette. Anything less would be uncivilized. And by the Discover card. It pays to discover. The card that pays you back. And by Nissan, building cars for people who want more than just the means of getting from here to there. Nissan, built for the human race. And by Blue Cross and Blue Shield. Ask about their new range of low-cost health plans. A new way of caring. Blue Cross and Blue Shield.
The Bruins and the Pittsburgh Penguins through 2 periods from Boston Garden, Game 2 of their Stanley Cup semifinal series, and the score 3-2 Boston. Bruins came into the game tonight as 1-0 leaders in the series off their 6-3 win back on Wednesday night. And in the other series, out in the western part of hockey, the Minnesota North Stars are doing it again. They beat the Oilers in the opening game of that series last night 3-1. They are up 1-0. This Pittsburgh club kind of amazing, really, the number of kids on the team with Boston and New England connections. Almost half of the hockey team either grew up here, played college hockey here, or once played for the Bruins. The case in point is former BC Eagle Kevin Stevens. Steve Burton has that story.
As 40-goal scorers go, Kevin Stevens has been one of the best-kept secrets in the NHL this year. He stayed somewhat in the considerable shadow of that guy named Lemieux, but didn't take too long to introduce himself.
Drops, cuts, gives it to Phil Bourque. Phil Bourque gives it to Mario Lemieux. All the way across, a quick pass in front, and a score by Kevin Stevens. Beautiful passing by the Penguins on that power play. Moog never had a chance.
I'm a little bit surprised that I always believe that I'd play well, but you never know. You never know your goals and what you're going to get. And I got 40 goals during the year, and I just want to come into playoffs and play hard. And the first couple of games against Jersey, I got some bounces and I gained some confidence. And when you have confidence, it's 50% of the game. And right now, I'm playing with a lot of confidence, and the puck's going in, and hopefully we'll continue to do that.
Stevens' confidence has been overly apparent all season long, amassing those 40 goals to go with 46 assists. He also added 17 points thus far in the playoffs, reaping the benefits of his 6'3", 210-pound frame.
That helps. I get a lot of my goals out in front of the net, so it's good to have size and strength, because if you're playing it out in front of the net, it's tough to move, and it's hard, it's tough in front of that, especially in the playoffs. They don't want to give you too much room in front of that net, and so the size and strength is a big asset. But I think my skating has improved a lot, so that's helped me a little bit too there.
No Bees fan can now deny that Stevens' speed does create additional scoring chances. For that aspect of his game, he's quick to give credit to the wide-open style of his playing days with Boston College and the U.S. Olympic team. For 4 years, Boston's hockey fans were able to enjoy Stevens' play while up at Chestnut Hill, and now they'll be able to do so once more with his return to Beantown for the Wales Conference Finals.
It's great. So, I was hoping we could win our division, they win their division, we get a chance to play the Bruins in a 7-game series. So it's going to be a lot of fun, and the tradition here and my friends and family and everything here, it's just a great feeling, and I'm just glad to be here.
Does it give you that much? As are the rest of the Penguins, who have advanced further than any other team in Pittsburgh hockey history. The fans may be in Stevens' corner, both here and in Pittsburgh, But for now, all that matters are just 8 more Pens wins.
There's 25 guys that have been through 80 games and, you know, 12 playoff games together and all the exhibition seasons. So we're looking in here and we're winning it for each other, you know. And it's nice that we have our family backing us up and all our friends and everything. But right now we got 25 guys pulling for one thing, and that's to beat the Bruins.
Stevens is one of 10 people on that Pittsburgh club that can be excused for parking his car at Harvard Yard. Tom Barrasso from Acton Boxborough, Young from Clinton and Boston University, Bruce Racine, the former Beanpot star goalie from Northeastern, Peter Taglianetti from Providence, former Friar, Phil Bourque, no relation to Ray from Chelmsford, Joe Mullen, another Len Siglarski protege from the Heights, and Paul Stanton, who was born in Boston, went to Catholic Memorial. And then 2 former Bruins, Barry Peterson, who was here from 80 through 86, and Randy Hillier, who skated with the Bruins from 81 to 84. So it kind of seems like old times, doesn't it? Maybe that's why the Penguins made the switch to black and gold on their own a few years ago, just to kind of, you know, make these guys feel at home. I'll be back with a look at highlights of tonight's first 2 periods, and we'll check in, too, with Fred Cusick, Derek Sanderson, when Bruins hockey continues tonight here on your New England Sports Network. Three to 2 at the end of the second period of play. Boston-Pittsburgh, Game 2 of the Stanley Cup. Score at the end of 2 periods, the Bruins 3 and the Pittsburgh Penguins 2. By the way, the Bruins have not lost a game in the postseason in which they have scored 4 goals or more. They are 4-0. Bruins took advantage of a power play situation, 2 of them in the first period. Ulf Samuelsson sitting when the Bruins get their first.
Růžička behind the net, trying to make the play. Looking, Neely, score! Neely from Johnny and Růžička!
Short-lived advantage for the Bruins, like 13 seconds before Kevin Stevens ties the game at 5:36. Neely's goal, by the way, his 15th of the postseason in the 15th game. Later in the first, Bruins with another power play chance.
Up for Růžička, off for Wesley, unloads it, and scores!
But keeping with the early pattern of the game, Boston scores, Pittsburgh scores, and so forth. Mario Lemieux demonstrates the advantage of lengthy arms, reaches out from behind the net for 1 to tie it at the intermission at 2. Early in the second period, Bourque, Boston.
Janney with it.
For the third time in the game, the Bruins have a 1-goal lead. Bob Sweeney paying some very close attention to Mario Lemieux again tonight. Mario extends his appreciation, his respect for a job well done. First period, Neely for the Bruins, 5:23. Stevens for Pittsburgh, 5:36. Wesley for the Bruins at 11:53, and Lemieux ties it at 16:34. And then in the second period, the only goal of the second period was scored by Ray Bourque only 22 seconds in from Gianni and Růžička, and the Bruins have themselves a lead of 3-2. Cam Neely's 15th goal back in the first period sets a new Bruins playoff record for most goals in a single playoff year. The old record was set by Barry Peterson in 1983 when he scored 14. The Bruins now 9-0-0 in games in which Gianni scores a point. They are 0-5 when he doesn't. He has 2 assists tonight. Let's go back to the Garden. Fred Cusick and Derek Sanderson.
Thank you, Tom. What about the game so far, Derek?
I think the Boston Bruins pretty happy with the way the situation is. They've given the Penguins too many opportunities. Pittsburgh has missed the net on 4 or 5 occasions. Phil Bourque took 2 himself. The goaltending by Moog has been superb. They got to put some pressure on Pittsburgh. They got to start taking the puck to them. They got to quit chasing the puck on their own end, start taking the body a little bit more. There's a time and a place to do either. Take the puck or take the body. A lot of times you want to do both simultaneously if you can. If you got somebody along the boards. The Bruins are chasing, looking over backs, trying to steal pucks. You start doing too much of that. Pittsburgh very good at handling the puck. I think they've got the Bruins a little bit on their heels in their own end.
Well, a wide-open game certainly favors Pittsburgh. How do the Bruins close it down? How do they get it back to some playoff hockey, tight defensive, as they did in the battle against Montreal?
What is extremely difficult to do is that tenacious forechecking hitting game. You'd say, okay, let's just go to that. That should be the way to solve it. Unfortunately, what Pittsburgh does is they move the puck very quickly. Their defense, they know better than to handle it. They move it up to the forwards who are long and deep and far away from them, and that traps a lot of forechecking players. So The Bruins are trying to pick them up at center ice, but they're crisscrossing, and they're such good puck handlers, the forwards, that they're having some difficulty there. And I think if you can get on them a little earlier and not give that defense a chance, you must get in on them quicker. Maybe carry the puck into their end zone. Leave it in there. Don't let the Penguins be coming out as easily as they are, falling off your man, looking to take your check. Then you start playing the puck in the body in their end as well.
And the Bruins lead 3-2. Here's Tom.
All right, Fred, the Red Sox are getting their first look at the new Comiskey Park in Chicago tonight. Roger Clemens working back from his suspension. They were trailing 2-0 at the end of the first inning of play. But we'll have some more highlights coming up next. At the end of 2 at the Garden, the Bruins lead the Pittsburgh Penguins 3-2, and you are watching Stanley Cup Hockey on your New England Sports Network. Well, the Bruins trying to go up 2-0 in their best-of-7 Stanley Cup semifinal series against the Pittsburgh Penguins, and they lead at the end of 2 periods, 3-2. The new Comiskey Park in Chicago tonight. The Red Sox opening a series against the Chicago White Sox. They had fallen behind 2-0 at the end of the first inning of play, and Roger Clemens' 30-inning streak of scoreless innings went by the boards. But down 2-0 in the second, Tom Bernanski's 4th home run of the season. Mike Greenwell was on board. 12th and 13th ribbies of the year for Bruno ties the game 2-2. Now in the third, Jody Reed, base hit opposite field, runners at the corners. Luis Rivera scores, makes the score 3-2 Boston, and the Red Sox have added another. They are now leading in the 4th inning by a score of 4-2. The score is 3-2 at the end of 2 periods of play, 3rd period now. Back to Boston Garden to Fred Cusick, Derek Sanderson, and Dave Shea.
All right, Tommy, 20 minutes of regulation left to go. The only goal of that period coming in the opening minute. And after that, the goaltenders took over. And when I mentioned, Derek, that Andy Moog looked stronger in the second period, it was very reminiscent of Game 1. Andy and the team got stronger as the game progressed, but especially Moog, and he was at his best in that second period. Had to be.
Had to be, he's right. Not only the chances he stopped, you got to look at the chances the Penguins kind of miffed there. They kind of kicked it and over-skated it and missed the net, and aerial passes to people wide open. You start sending them on the ice. I mean, goaltenders cannot defend against that.
Ray Bourque logging a lot of time tonight. Mike Baker tells us 26 minutes, 49 seconds of the game's first 40 minutes. Wow. Young and Lazaro picked up matching roughing penalties as the teams were headed to the dressing room, so the Bruins will be without one of their better and certainly their speediest penalty killer to start the period. Pittsburgh starting with the power play. There's Neely and Lazaro.
And the Bruins get the faceoff. Poulin has been doing that all night long. Kevin Stevens, a hard hit on Wesley. Stevens, what a tremendous hockey player out of Silver Lake and Boston College. Here comes Recchi over the line. Drops it for Stevens, bearing in. Stop! And they say it's in. The Pittsburgh Penguins.
It's not.
It's not in. They had the sticks up. And
this cannot continue. The Bruins just can't let people come in. You're going to watch Stevens and Recchi make a couple of moves at the blue line. Bruins following pucks. Well, you're not going to get to see it. There they miss it. There's the pass. Hits the side of the net. Stuffed it in front. Moog just puts it in his glove. But at the blue line, it came at will. The little shift inside. Recchi went inside. Bourque went with him. He passed it outside to Stevens, and he waltzed in. You just cannot do that.
beautiful move by Poulin. Knocks the puck right away down to the Pittsburgh zone. 1:10 left. 5th Pittsburgh power play. And Murphy rushes. Gets it to Lemieux. Lemieux checks. And the Bruins move it up. And Poulin skates it out. Check from behind. Battles for it. Goes down. No penalty call on Recchi, and there shouldn't have been. And fans kind of buzzed about it. Out comes Kevin Stevens again. His shot blocked. Knocked away by Poulin, who cleared it out. 40 seconds left. Lemieux, the quick pass over the line. Blocked by Poulin. What a penalty-killing job Dave Poulin has done. And Stevens gives him a shot for good measure as he goes out. Bourque stays out there. Mario Lemieux. Pass to Murphy. In deep, stopped by Bob Sweeney.
Got to be careful.
Cleared it into
You
the
do not
stands.
want to face off in your end.
A little too much hook on Swoop's stick, huh?
Yeah. Kind of pulled it. Hey, Poulin stole three pucks that kill, the first minute of that kill. There's Sweeney going to go into the stands with it.
Whoops.
A little too high. There's the...
It's up at Loge 18.
Yeah, there we go.
Lemieux is back at the point now. Burridge. The draw. Murphy. Lemieux. One-timer and a save by Andy Moe. And it is cleared away. Lemieux's 6th shot. He has a goal. Recchi. Broken up by Bob Sweeney. Murphy gets it back. Stevens across for Lemieux. In deep. Tries to put it in front. Popped in the air. Shot goes wide. Break for Boston there. And finally, Burridge able to clear it out. Bruins are at full strength. Neely has picked up their last 2 penalties. Away now comes Francis. Drops it off for Roberts. Popped in the air in the Boston zone. Bounces for Neely. Now for Don Sweeney. Bruins are changing up. Don Sweeney drops it in. 3-2 Boston. Bruins 2 for 4 in power plays. Růžička trying to dig it. Can't do it. There's a lost glove on the ice.
Burridge
cleared. Don Sweeney moves it around. Neely. Now for Galley. Galley for Janney. Janney over the line. For Růžička. Back for Janney. Broken up. Too many passes there and a couple of them behind the back. And out comes Trottier with Loney. Clearing it in. Galley and Trottier go deep. Back is Janney. Up the boards. Neely trying to work it out. Can't. Mullen broke him up. Fought for on the boards. Nobody can get a handle to it. Neely does. And out comes Janney. Růžička. And Galley for Růžička. Shot! Save Barrasso. Plenty on that wrist shot by Růžička. And back comes Paul Stanton. Drives it wide and high. The long rebound. Bork with it. Bork looking for Christian. It doesn't work. Trottier winding up. 3-2 Boston, 3rd period. Skriko, the interception. Gets by Jennings. Across for Poulin, just too far ahead of him. He would have broken in alone. Keeps it in. Gets it from Don Sweeney for Skriko. Skriko intercepted by Stevens. To Lemieux. To Recchi. Back for Lemieux. Lemieux cuts in behind the net. Puts it in front. And heavy action there. The net might have come off the moorings, but the whistle
Sweeney
blew.
may be hurt.
And Don Sweeney is hurt. It is Boston 3, Pittsburgh 2, 3rd period on NESN.
Well, Don Sweeney is up and gingerly going to the Bruins bench. Maybe we'll get a chance to take a look at what happened. It looked like it may be ribs or hip. Bang. Does look just above the hip. Ooh, that hurts.
That's smart.
The Penguins on that power play just had the shot by Mario Lemieux. His 6th shot of the game. Stanton, a drive, a kick-out save by Andy Moe. And Stanton can scream him from the right point. He's played a good game. Here comes Christian now with Poulin. Indeed, for Poulin, he is checked into the boards, and Samuelsson wraps it around and out. Back goes Galley. Recchi after him. Icing called on the play against Samuelsson.
Jimmy Weimer. Here's Don Sweeney.
He one tough little customer, Don Sweeney.
Oh, you bet he is.
Hey, he gets hit a lot. He probably receives more checks than anyone in the league. Left side, right side, front and back, just pounded constantly. Plays courageously in traffic. Gary Galley, one of the better hitters. When he's hitting, he's effective.
Boston goals by Neely and Wesley on power plays, and Ray Bourque. Kevin Stevens, Mario Lemieux scoring for Pittsburgh. 3-2 Boston, 15:48 left, third period. Total shots, 22 Pittsburgh, 15 Boston. Juris fighting for it. Bourque gets it. Bourque holds. Can't set up Bob Sweeney. Francis back, can't clear it out. Check, Burridge covers, keeps it in. Francis gets it loose now. Juris has lost his helmet. Taglianetti to Phil Bourque. Out to Francis, pushes it ahead. Broken up. Burridge. Can't clear it. In deep, Galley and Yarger. Kicked ahead. Francis gets it. Taken down. Juris. Phil to move it out. Kept in now. Pass in front. Blocked by Bourque on Francis. Up the boards. Juris knocks it away. 5 minutes into the third period. Jennings and Juris. They're separated. Neither really threw a punch. Thought it caused a whistle, and the Bruins can regroup. It is Boston 3, Pittsburgh 2. Back in a moment on NESN.
Jennings and Juris get 2 each for roughing at 5:02. Gary Galley apparently before today's game required the same kind of rehydration that Andy Moog required before game 1.
Peter Duras kind of got a little more vicious with that right cross.
Hammond on defense with Wesley. Burridge clears it in. Back is Roberts. Nyland at right wing with Burridge and Bob Sweeney. Forcing the pass out, stopped by Hammond. Hammond gets it back, but way offside is Nyland on the left wing. But again, that forechecking by Boston forced the errant pass, and the Bruins are going to have to do that.
Moog, of course, was battling the flu and had lost a lot of fluid and required having it replenished. I'm not sure Galley's need, Derek, to have the rehydration process earlier today. It's been warm, but not exceedingly warm.
Herdina has Urey on the left and Mullen on the right. Nyland trying to work it in, get near Barrasso. Bob Sweeney follows up. Penguins trying to move it out. They do, but right to Glenn Wesley. To Burridge. To Nyland. Poked in now by Hammond, but he can't collect it. And winding up is Roberts. Waiting for his forwards. Gets it to Murphy. Murphy to Mullen. Mullen clears it in. Urey hustles in. He's the digger on the line. Mullen puts it in front. Goes right to Roberts. Roberts held it too long. The puck is kept in by Herdina. He's checked. Hammond trying to move it out. He's checked. The shot here picked off as Herdina fired one on Moog.
Well, I think it's safe to say the Bruins are surviving here. They better get going.
3-2 Boston on NESN, third period. Recchi on the faceoff. The big line out there for Pittsburgh. 13:53 left, third period. Bruins clinging to a 3-2 lead thanks to Andy Moog. Recchi, Samuelson. Over to Murphy on a deflection. The shot goes deflected, but was high. Another drive here from the right point. Blocked. Lemieux keeps it in. That's Stanton. There, Ray Bourque trying to move it out. The Bruins hemmed in. On the board, Stevens fires it. Saved by Moog. A drive by Stanton. A save by Moog. How long can he keep it up?
And he's going to start filing for non-support here. The guys are just right on their heels.
Not on their heels. They're standing. They're knee-deep in anesthetic. Standing around waiting for the puck to bounce up. I know what that's like. Not that any one of them intends to do this. It happens. You just then, when Pittsburgh is coming at you like that, one after another, they're swarming around the puck. They're not playing positional hockey. They're not playing anything the Bruins are used to seeing. It's just every man for himself. And as soon as they get the puck, they fire it at the net. There's a glove save there by Moog.
Bob Sweeney sent out, and he clears it away to center ice. Samuelsson wraps it back. Don Sweeney back in action. He's on defense with Ray Bourque. He clears it to the Pittsburgh zone, but the Bruins kind of hanging on, not creating any offense. They try deep forechecking now, but Kevin Stevens winds up. Weaves it into center ice. Barrels straight ahead. It's checked. Lemieux on the puck. The shot and the save, and it's back wide. Another close call for Boston. Moog trying to get organized now. Here's Lemieux. A shot missed the net from right in front. Stevens.
Moog has no stick.
Back for Samuelsson. His shot missed. Possible breakaway. Neely coming on Samuelsson. Oh, Samuelsson belted him to the boards and broke him up. He takes Samuelsson down, but Pittsburgh comes back. Stanton flips it in on Andy Moog. The Bruins savior in this one as the Bruins lead 3-2. Pittsburgh's done everything but score. Shots at 25-15 Pittsburgh. Francis starts back. Up the middle to Yager. Yager over the line with Francis. Holding, still holding. Fires it wide. Francis going for it. Check. Bruins on the puck, trying to move it out. Bourque pinches in. Poulin with it. Around for Lazaro. Lazaro moves it up, and the Bruins break it out. Here comes Poulin. What a game he's played. Gives it to Christian. In, and he can't quite turn around to make the play. Bruins try to set him up again as the Bruins had a breakout. Back comes Yager on Wesley. They go deep. Wesley puts the grab on him. One hand, the 19-year-old holds it all the way around for a shot that's wide by Roberts. What a play by Yager. One hand. He just held on to that puck, and the Bruins forced to ice it. Boston 3, Pittsburgh 2. Back in a moment on NESN.
Right here, Dave Christian almost pulls off a spectacular play. He wanted to get this onto his forehand. It just got away from him at the end. Here's Glenn Wesley now. He's got body position, but Yager's gliding in the right direction. Holding him off. Good body protection. Now they're both slowing up, running out of steam.
Looks like Mario Jr.
Great player, Yager.
The draw to Ray Bourque. Bourque up the board. Nyland can't chop it out. A shot just missed by Jennings. Pittsburgh simply dominating play. Loose puck. Deflected away. Goes to area. Shot blocked by Moog. Bourque trying to get it out. Does. Just fires it out. Tom Barrasso has had a quiet 2 periods. 4 shots by Boston in the second, 1 here in the third. Bourque trying to keep it in against Herdina. But it's knocked out of the zone. Bourque flips it up. Urey takes over. Checked by Nyland. Gets it away. Taglianetti to Jennings. Everybody on fire for the Penguins. The shot by Mullen deflected wide. In the corner. Fought for. Mullen trying to set up in front. The Bruins ice it. Well, no icing. Barrasso played it. 3-2 Boston. But Pittsburgh is on fire. Taglianetti slides it in. Mario Lemieux knocks it around the board. Finally, some time for Boston to work it out to Burridge. Burridge. Růžička. Burridge looking for Neely. Neely checked by Stevens. Neely trying to tie it up. Neely checked by Stevens. 2 big, strong men. Neely had it. It is knocked away by Recchi. Recchi breaks. Drops it. Shot deflected high on the follow-up by Stevens. Stevens to Recchi. Pass back. Samuelsson kept it inside. Shot and a screen block. Turn around. A save on Recchi by Moog.
Penalty coming up on Janney. Hey, don't forget, fans, you too can dress like the Bruins by ordering the 1991 official Boston Bruins playoff T-shirt and sweat tie. This playoff apparel comes in designs of either Ray Bourque, Andy Moog, Cam Neely, or Craig Janney, and they're available in either medium large or extra large. So order yours today by calling 1-800-5-BRUINS. The T-shirts cost $14.95. The sweat top goes for just $24.95. All orders will be shipped within 5 business days.
Bruins
Holding.
very upset with Maruelli. Neely, Janney. Růžička was hauled down at the far end of the building. Maruelli opted to let that go. Janney doesn't think he treated Mario Lemieux unfairly here in front of the net. We'll see right here.
He's certainly giving away enough size.
A little pirouette.
Moog was a little shaken up earlier when he lost the sticky. There was a crowd right around the crease. And I don't know if it was a Bruin or a Bruin and a Penguin who ended up with Moog in the cage. But Andy was kind of slow to get up.
The draw won by Poulin. Bork can't clear it. Off now for a shot to save by Andy Moog. A spectacular on Scott Young, even though it came from well out.
Right now, the only thing that's going to save the Bruins is running time. And even then.
Well, I've seen this happen many times. The first time the Bruins get an opportunity, they're going to stuff it. A lot of times it happens that way. The Penguins are playing very well at this point. What they're doing is they're not playing positional. They're not playing anything organized. They're playing pond hockey. They've been playing it all night long. Everybody going to the puck, defense in the play, and they're working very hard. And when you work as hard as they're working,
Poulin pulled down, tries to throw it outside the zone, can't. Moog, check, shovels it up the board. Lazaro going for it, kept in by Recchi. Lemieux trying to get free from Wesley. Stevens loses. Bork tries the boards, doesn't work. Kept in by Stevens, and it bounces to Scott Young. In again. Lemieux trying to put it in front, does. They score. Deflected off a Bruin, and Lemieux ties it up on the power play.
Andy Moog got caught out of the net trying to sweep the puck around the back, and
well,
just could never recover.
Well, now, Andy Moog, who wants to help out, you can't get it out. I got to go do something. Gets to the loose puck first, but Lemieux's going to get the stick on it. The reach fooled him. Now it's going to hit Wesley in the foot. Now it stays back behind the goal line. The dump out front looked like Ray Bork backhanded it in. See if Bork gets a stick on it right here. He gave it to Recchi. Raymond trying to flip it back behind the net, whether Recchi got a poke check away or not. Hard to tell. Okay, now the Bruins have got a 9-minute hockey game.
The goal is Recchi's from Lemieux and Scott Young at 11:01. It's on a power play. The Penguins have 9 shots in the third period. The Bruins with 1. The Bruins have had only 5 shots in the last 30 minutes of play. And now Pittsburgh has tied it up on a power play. 3-3.
Good sound positional hockey would beat this Penguin team to death.
Puck is back. Murphy clears it out. Bruins knock it back. It is offside. 8:44 left in the third period. The Penguins have tied it. Attack. Offense. That is their style, and they can put the heat on, and they did this entire third period.
Right here, Lemieux just gets the Moog stick, and then it hits his foot. Wesley keeps it back on the goal line. Oh, Recchi does get it. Better view of it.
Bork fires in on Barrasso, who's had a quiet evening since the first period. Duras hustling in, but Roberts takes over. The clear out. Bork moves it back. Roberts winding up. Fires it out against the Boston forecheck. Burridge coming back. Over the line. Looking for Bob Sweeney. It's intercepted by Francis. Now over to Murphy. And Roberts. Roberts rushes. Clears it in. Wesley back. Yager after him. Puck kept in by Herdina. And Uri. Hurry, Bayaga. Save, Andy Moog. What a story Moog has been. Bob Sweeney flips it in. Puck kept in by Wesley. Looking for Růžička, block. Into the corner, Janney with it. In front, Neely missed the net. Janney set him up right in front. Neely fights for it over on the boards. Keeps it in. Knocked away, not out. Kept in. Neely a shot. Blocked wide in front. Urry with it. Fires it out. Now the Bruins are putting on an offense. Urry breaks it up. And back to cover Gary Galley. Don Sweeney intercepted. Lemieux. Lemieux has an man open. Joe Mullen. He scores. Lemieux. Lemieux's second goal makes it 4-3 with the big reach in the backhand.
Very adept at picking the puck out of the air. Mario Lemieux, tremendous eye-hand coordination. And Sweeney tries another telegraph play up off the boards. A little backhander. Lemieux picked it right out of the air. I think that's a pretty safe play. Moog went for the poke check, just never got the stick on it.
What a reach.
Well, Lemieux has accounted for 3 of the 4 Penguin goals. He has scored 2 and set up Recki's. And now the Bruins find themselves in a position of playing catch-up, and Mike Milbury says, hey, let's take a timeout and talk it over. 7 minutes left to go.
It is Pittsburgh 4, Boston 3. Back in a moment on NESN. Mario Lemieux, unassisted. His 7th series goal comes exactly at 13 minutes. Now, when he comes in like that, with that reach.
Forget about it. I thought he was going to go back on his forehand, wait and delay, and go up to the crossbar. One of those tricky ones. Kind of a conventional sweep across.
And beyond that, he had Joe Mullen with him. Another goal scorer. Elected to do it alone. Bruins trying to create an offense. Don Sweeney is over the line. Goes in deep. Checked by Phil Bourque. Bob Sweeney. Neely gets it. Neely puts it in front. Růžička can't get it. Able to keep it in. Now Stanton fires it. Blocked by Růžička. It bounces to Barrasso, and he ties it up. But the Bruins, after Pittsburgh tied it up, able to create a little offense. Where has it been all for a period and a half?
If you had an answer to that, you could go behind the bench and be a millionaire. Where does it go on any team, in any sport? You tend to sit around and say, oh my God, I made a mistake, and the goaltender makes a save. I made a mistake, the goaltender saves you again. You start standing, you start watching. The other team starts getting all over you, chance after chance after chance, till eventually they tie it. Now the Bruins have got to pick it up. They've only got 6.5 minutes to do so.
Trottier on the faceoff. Gets it to Francis, who clears it out. Neely hammers it in. Barrasso almost put it in the stands. That deflected around, was finally knocked into the stands, but Barrasso came close to putting it in directly, and that would be a penalty.
Now the Pittsburgh Penguins have gotten the lead. Bob Johnson called them over to the bench area, had a little coaching seminar, just talked them right into standing still. The Bruins have picked it up. They have thrown a little caution to the wind.
Very interesting. He has Stevens out there against Neely. Stevens just about matches him in size. Now Samuelson on him. Batted around. And Francis knocks it out.
Kevin Collins can't get out of the way.
Mullen clears it in deep. 6 minutes left. Third period. 4-3 Pittsburgh, as they scored 2 in the third period. Recchi from Lemieux and Young. Lemieux unassisted. It's up for Janney. Janney over the line. Stopping, cutting. Gives it to Bourque. Bourque missed it. Francis with a breakout with Mullen. Possible 2-on-1. Gives it to Mullen. Mullen rolls it in front. Net knocked off its mooring. Another save by Andy Moog, as Francis and Mullen moved on that one. It is Pittsburgh 4, Boston 3. Back in a moment on NESN. 5:39 left in the third period. Trottier out there on the faceoff to the left of Andy Moog.
Right here to pass to Mullen, just about gets through. Joey still gets a backhand on him.
Ron Francis looking a little bit like he did in his Hartford days, going right into Andy Moog.
Bruins work it out from Poulin to Christian. He is stopped. Pittsburgh can play defense, and that's what they're doing now. Don Sweeney trying to get started. Gets it up. Loses at the line. It is knocked away by Roberts. Loney moves on Galley, who's winding up. In the center ice, it is Squeako. He's over the line, coming on Erie. Gets the shot, blocked by Barrasso. Jammed in the corner. Christian, Squeako fighting for it. Murphy will take the faceoff. Can't get it. Bruins get it. Poulin smashed in the boards by Roberts. And Erie just clears it out softly. Don Sweeney starts back. Now gives it for Lazaro. Lazaro streaking, going deep, pulled on! Taglianetti goes out, a power play, and that was forced by Jeff Lazaro with 4:28 left.
Well, that's what speed can do for you. It can make things happen. Just his presence resulting in a Bruin power play as Lazaro streaked down the right side. And no choice for Peter Taglianetti but to put a hook out on, or a trip on Jeff Lazaro.
Tonight's game is being brought to you in part by Budweiser, the king of beers, with that distinctively clean, crisp, cold taste. Nothing beats a Bud. And by your New England GMC truck dealers. It's not just a truck anymore, it's quality on the road. And by your New England area Century 21 offices. Put your trust in #1, Century 21. And by Mobil, Mobil One synthetic motor oil. Isn't your car worth the extra protection?
Lazaro flying down that right side, the stick in between the legs. That's the telltale sign. Tripping on Taglianetti.
Neely and Francis on the faceoff.
Brian Trottier get back, trying to cheat a little bit on Růžička.
Neely, Růžička, Janney, Bourque, and Wesley. The draw for Bourque. In for Janney. Růžička. Oh, he had Neely briefly open. Couldn't quite get it to him. Janney with it. Holding. Janney. Waiting. Shot by Růžička.
Wesley high stick. Roberts high stick. Wesley.
Wesley down. Wesley down. Roberts goes out, a two-man advantage for Boston.
Well, I'm not sure what Peter Taglianetti is that upset about, unless he's upset with himself.
Could have called that as well. He let that go. Samuelson. I guess he couldn't call everything. They'd have been 6 men short. But one thing leads to another. The Penguins start to sit on their heels a little bit. And now the infractions start coming on their side of the street. The Bruins, Pittsburgh all over them. They had to start hauling them down. And
the situation is, for 1 minute and 43 seconds, the Bruins will have a two-man advantage. They trail 4-3. Lemieux, the go-ahead goal. He has 2 tonight. There is 4:11 left in this, the third period.
The tendency in this situation, especially with 4:11 left and down by a goal, hurry up, we got to hurry up and get one. Just the opposite. The Bruins have to be patient and work it, because they'll get one of their shots. They've just got to wait for the right one. Don't try to force it inside.
It really helps the Penguins here, if you can call it help. You got Phil Bourque out there, who's only can also play for both positions, defensive forward. If needed, can rotate on the triangle. Do both jobs out there.
On the draw, Růžička for Bourque for Růžička. Missed by Janney as Růžička fired it, maybe too hard. Janney back for Galley to Bourque. Shot missed the net. Phil Bourque trying to clear it. Does. All the way down to Andy Moog. Wesley starts back. Phil Bourque, Samuelson, Francis out there. Galley over the line. Back for Janney. Janney holding. Now to Bourque. Into Růžička. Back. Off for Galley. Janney. Aerial pass. Galley pass in. Janney holding. The Bourque knocks it down. He's it to Galley. The Bourque shot, save, rebound. Janney scores from Růžička and Bourque to tie the game at 4.
That's 4 assists tonight for Růžička, 3 for Janney. And they still have 1:01 left to go with a 5-on-4. And Peter Taglianetti is over at the Pittsburgh bench now, just standing and shaking his head at Dan Maruelli.
Both teams are going to do that. It happens so often. No one likes to be penalized. Peter Taglianetti playing a hard, tough game. Didn't think the trip was worth it. But watch Růžička. Traps this puck on the rebound, but doesn't panic. Feathers the pass right to Janney. What a playmaker he is.
Janney's 3rd goal of the playoffs. His 2nd of this series.
Dave, the remark you made earlier about the players that come from Czechoslovakia do have Vladimír Růžička down as their Wayne Gretzky.
Oh, yeah. Ray Bourque starts out. Lemieux is out there as a penalty killer. Bourque fires it in. Still a power play. 40 seconds left. Růžička goes to the corner. Back for Bourque. Bourque up for Janney. Janney holding into Růžička. His pass deflects back for Bourque. Into Janney. Broken up by Lemieux. Lemieux breaks it out. Picking up Airy. Lemieux. Fell down. Back. 20 seconds left. Neely. Trying to get it back. Goes to the corner as he's checked. Gets it to Růžička. Shot saved. Loose. Knocked away into the corner. Neely for Bourque. Bourque fires it in. 5 seconds left on the power play. Lemieux gets it. Wears it down to Andy Moog. Full strength Pittsburgh. 4-4. Janney from Růžička and Bourque on a power play. Bruins with 3 power plays. Růžička fires it in high. Janney from Neely and Růžička at 16:49. You say Neely, not Bourque. Francis back for Stevens. Stevens. Shot blocked. Christian starts it back. 1:42 left. Christian for Don Sweeney. Don Sweeney trying to put it in front. Blocked. The Penguins started out. 4-man assault. And Galley checks it. Stopped by Stevens. Gets it behind the net to Don Sweeney. 4-4 the score. Cooling out. In the center ice. Skriko to Christian. Christian lost it. Skriko follows up. Puts it in front. Knocked away by Pittsburgh just in time by Murphy. Skriko turns back. 4-4 the score. Over the line. Checked by Samuelson. Now it's around to Stanton. Pass out to Lemieux. Has Bourque with him. Phil Bourque. Checked on the play by Ray Bourque. What a play he made on Lemieux. Around the boards, Pittsburgh keeps it in. Stanton a shot blocked by Ray Bourque. He blocks another one. And the Bruins. Ray Bourque was everywhere there to Wesley. He's over the line. Holds. Fires. A save by Barrasso, and he went across with that right hand.
Very observant, he did. He wanted to make sure he nullified the rebound. Almost handcuffed him. 27 seconds left. You got the face-off where you want it. All you have to do is win it.
The Bruins with 3 power play goals. The last one by Gianni, who has a goal and 2 assists again.
Here's the reaction of both benches. One happy and one kind of, yeah.
What defensive work by Raymond Bourque on that sequence when Lemieux broke on a 2-on-1 with Erie. Tried to go it alone, and Ray Bourque took care of him. Broke up 3 successive plays in the Boston zone. And he's played a tremendous amount of time. Burridge on the draw, gets it back. Don Sweeney is checked at the line, though. And Francis clears it out. Don Sweeney knocked down. Bruins roll it in. 15 seconds left. Away from overtime. No icing on this, so Don Sweeney back for it. Burridge clears it out. Neely trying to line up Samuelson.
Oh, it's Murphy.
Murphy, and didn't get a good piece of it. He saw the 5. He thought it was Samuelson. It was 55. It is Boston 4, Pittsburgh 4. And we'll be in the sudden death overtime shortly. Back in a moment.
So the Bruins are going to overtime for the 3rd time in this playoff season. They are 0-2, by the way, in overtime sessions. Both of those coming against the Montreal Canadiens. Game 6, the Bruins losing 4-3, and Game 2, rather, they lost 4-3, and Game 6, they lost 3-2 to the Montreal Canadiens. Meanwhile, the Penguins, in their run through the playoffs so far, have been to overtime twice and won both of them. Once against the New Jersey Devils 5-4 in the second game of that series, and in the second game of the Patrick Division Finals, 7-6 over the Caps, and here they are in the second game against the Bruins and going to overtime again. Dave Shea has with him at the Garden Barry Peterson, appropriate guest, being as how his record was the one that was broken by Cam Neely earlier. Most goals in a postseason for a Bruin.
All right, Tommy, thank you. I think the only thing better than having a ticket and being in here tonight is being in here without having to buy a ticket, and we're in that group. It's unfortunate you're not getting much time, but even sitting on the sidelines, you got to have a little fun watching a game like this.
Yeah, it is. I'm really happy for the city of Pittsburgh and especially the organization. Craig Patrick's done a great job since he's got here. He's given the organization stability, I think, which it really needed badly.
I don't think Cam Neely will go away in regards to Barry Peterson. Now, you've obviously, everywhere you go, hear the questions of how do you feel about having been involved in the deal, and now Cam breaks your Bruin playoff record of most goals in a playoff.
That's one of the records Cam will hold here before he's finished. He's a great hockey player, and I'm sure he's going to have a lot more to come, a lot more good years left in him.
At the time the trade came about, Barry, you and Rick Middleton were the Neely and Janney of that period for the Boston Bruins. Vancouver was your home. Was it a real desire to go out there, or could the deal have been avoided?
It really wasn't that I wanted to be moved. It was a contractual situation between Harry and I, and Harry's job is to try and keep the budget down, and my job is to try and make as much money as I can for my family for latter years. And we had a disagreement of price, and he made his decision. Obviously, he made the right decision for himself.
When those deals come about, everybody hopes it works out for both teams and all the individuals involved. We all know the history with how the deal has worked out for Boston. For you, you've been on the move since the trade. Things didn't quite work out the way you had hoped and the Canucks had hoped.
No, not really, I don't think. Obviously, it didn't work out as well as the Canucks had hoped, and I really felt it was going to be a really good opportunity when I got a chance to go to Pittsburgh, but things haven't worked out the way we'd all kind of hoped this year. So hopefully, just stay positive, keep working hard, maybe get a shot.
Right now, you're with a club that is very exciting to be with. This is the first time they've gone this far in the playoffs. They've got tremendous talent, tremendous firepower. I would imagine the town's pretty much abuzz down there.
Yeah, they are. They're really excited. You know, it's primarily known as a football town with the Steelers being so good. And then last year, the Pirates coming through and having a big year. And we're hoping to hopefully carry on the tradition of the Pittsburgh town and maybe get some hockey fans on our side. And I think the town of Pittsburgh's really behind us now, and they're excited. And I think you can sit and watch what Craig's trying to do. He's trying to build themselves a winner from the foundation. Guys like Young Yeager is going to be a great player for years to come, and everyone's very, very excited.
You look at the Penguins, and for you, it's a real about-face with Boston, and then with Vancouver. You were used to playing on a club that tried to play close to the vest. Here, it's open the doors and let them go.
Yeah, it is. I think Bob's been trying to preach right from training camp. We have to be a little bit better in our own end. I think we're working at it. It's a constant struggle. We have so much offensive talent. We have the ability to win a lot of games, 7-6, 6-5. But you know, when it comes playoff time, it's a different ball game out there.
What's the mentality of this club now that we're into the postseason? What was it during the regular season when you were faced with overtime?
Well, I think obviously you don't want to sit back. You just want to go out, continue to do what you've been doing. I think we've been playing very well these past 3 periods. Hopefully we'll continue in the overtime. The intensity is there. I think we picked it up a lot from the last game, and we keep playing the same way we're going, we'll be fine. Now that we're into sudden death, Barry, and it could go on and on, do you still employ the same go right after him strategy? You have to, because you have to go out and score the goal. You have to stay positive and keep working hard, and I think the important thing is not to give yourself any defensive lapses, but at the same time keep working hard offensively, because you have to go out and score the goal. It's good to see you again. Next time I hope we see you with a sweater on out on the ice instead of jacket and tie. Thanks, David. Good to see you again.
Tommy, back to you.
All right, Dave Shea, game has been tied at 1, 2, 3, and is tied now at 4, and at the end of regulation, 4-4, Bruins and Penguins, with the overtime coming up. We'll be back with highlights of the game to this point in a moment on your New England Sports Network.
Conference Championship is now in full gear, and NESN will hit the road to bring you coverage of Game 3 of this exciting playoff series. Cam Neely and company will look to upend the Penguins when they travel to Iron City, and all eyes will be focused to see if the Bees can win this first game in Pittsburgh. Things won't come easy for the Bruins, though, as they know of at least 66 reasons why they can ill afford to let up their attack. All the action of Game 3 comes your way on NESN Sunday Night Live at 7:30.
Bruins and Penguins into overtime, 4-4 at the end of regulation. All time, the Bruins have a record of 31-48-3 in overtime, while the Penguins, with not quite the extensive playoff experience, have won 6, lost 3, and, well, you don't tie very often in overtime, do you? But Pittsburgh 2-0 this year, and the Bruins 0-2. In the first period, power play chance for the Bruins with Ulf Samuelsson, old friend from Hartford, gets sent away. Cam Neely makes a little playoff history.
He missed it. Růžička behind the net, trying to make the play. Looking. Neely. Score! Neely from Johnny and Růžička.
Playoff goal 15 for Neely. That sets a new record for the Bruins, but the lead it gave him was on the board a mere 13 seconds when Kevin Stevens evens the situation, 1 apiece. Later in the first, Bruins with another power play.
Up for Růžička, off for Wesley, and loads it and scores!
One of those you score, I score, repeat the process kind of game. So Pittsburgh's turn, and Mario takes care of it from behind the net with those plastic man arms. Pokes it in to tie the game at the end of the first period, and then 18 seconds into the second period.
Janny with it.
Third time in the game, the Bruins had held a 1-goal lead. The Sweeney Lemieux show again tonight. Mario extending greetings with a glove in the face. He gets a couple of minutes for that in the third period. 1-goal Boston lead. Moog goes to work.
On the board, Stevens fires it. Saved by Moog. A drive by Stanton. A save by Moog. Off now for a shot. The save by Andy Moog.
Almost all the activity in the game in the third period was happening where Moog was. One of them just had to get through.
To Scott Young. In again. Lemieux trying to put it in front. Does. They score. Deflected off a Bruin.
Game tied for the third time. The pattern said it was Boston's turn to score, but this time the pattern didn't hold.
Intercepted. Lemieux. Lemieux has an ale open. Joe Mullen. He scores. Lemieux.
First lead of the night, Pittsburgh. With 4:11 left, though, the Bruins get a chance with a 2-man advantage.
Is it a Galley? Bork, shot, save, rebound. Janney scores from Růžička and Bork to tie the game at 4.
That was with 3:11 to play, and it is still tied at 4 in the first period. Neely for the Bruins, Stevens for Pittsburgh, Wesley for the Bruins, and Lemieux for the Penguins. It was tied 2-2 at the end of 1. In the second, the lone goal by Ray Bork. 22 seconds in, Janney and Růžička the assist. The Bruins had a 3-2 lead. But in the third period, at 11:01, Pittsburgh's Recchi, and at 13 even, Lemieux. Lemieux's goal put them up by a score of 4-3, and then with a two-man advantage, Craig Janney scored for the Bruins at 16:49. Tie game, 4-4, and we are heading for overtime. The Red Sox active at the new Comiskey Park in Chicago. Back with some of the highlights from that one as the Bruins and the Penguins are waiting for overtime, tied at 4 on NESN. Game 3 of this series between the Bruins and the Pittsburgh Penguins will be at the Igloo, the Pittsburgh Civic Center, on Sunday night. Bruins and the Penguins, 7:30. We'll have Bruins Digest at 7 o'clock. It'll be live on NESN with Fred Cusick, Derek Sanderson, and Dave Shea. This one is tied 4-4, and we're heading for overtime. New Comiskey Park in Chicago. Red Sox and White Sox tonight, 4-2 Boston in the fourth. Ellis Burks, base hit to center. Wade Boggs chugs around to score. Burks with his 5th RBI of the season, and the Red Sox have a 5-2 lead. In the bottom of the fourth, Roger Clemens gets Matt Marullo looking. That's the 5th strikeout of the ball game. 5-2 after 6 for the Rocket and the Red Sox. Clemens' string of 30 consecutive scoreless innings ended when Chicago got 2 runs in the bottom half of the first inning, and the score is 5-2 Red Sox. Down at Boston Garden, it is even at 4 apiece, and we're heading for overtime. The game has been tied at each juncture, 1, 2, 3, and now 4. Pittsburgh has led only once. Overtime now. Fred, and Dave, and Derek.
Well, coming into this period, the Boston Bruins had the work cut out for him. Bob Sweeney has been generally on the ice and been pitted against Mario Lemieux. Bob Sweeney did an excellent job on Lemieux in the first game. Tonight, Mario has a goal and 2 assists, but on none of the 3 points, 2 goals and an assist. Bob Sweeney has not been on the ice, has not been opposite. So, I was still doing the job. Vladimír Růžička, right here the shot comes in. Watch how he traps the rebound. He's in the right position. Watches it, gets it, bouncing puck. At the same time makes the shovel over to Janney. Janney there's got it, calmed down. He waits to make sure. Forehands it in. A little tricky. Backhanding it would have been nicer to get it in there quicker, but made sure.
Mike Milbury behind the Boston bench, set to go, sudden death overtime. Ed Barry, former Boston Bruin, Boston Olympic coach and player, Northeastern University, great all-around athlete. We'll honor him, Nonana Post American Legion on May 9th. Perennial golf champion at Charles River. And coached at UMass. Set to go. Lemieux is out there.
I can't see this going any great distance in time. I think this Penguins are the type of hockey club that just want to end it as fast as possible.
Ray Bork with it, fired it down. Barrasso handled it, trying to clear it himself for Recchi. Wesley tried to pinch it in, can't. Bork to Neely, to Janney. Well, Wesley can't contain it. In the Boston zone, Bork and Recchi go for it, and Janney had it, couldn't control it. Penguins with it. Stevens waits for Recchi to clear. Gives it off now. Recchi taken down by Neely. They let it go. And boy, here's Lemieux stealing on Neely. Puts it in front. It rolls across. Recchi knocked down. Bork is going out for holding. And the Neely one could have been a penalty anyway. It is a power play for Pittsburgh, and Bork goes for holding Recchi. So the Penguins, who scored 1 out of 6 in power plays, here in sudden death. 37 seconds into sudden death. Ray Bork is out. The Bruins shorthanded.
The big thing is this is Ray Bork. He's your #1 penalty killer. It was a hold. He put his arm around him, took the hand off the stick. Saying it all year long. Anyone who's been playing this game over the age of 6 knows that. Raymond thought he'd get away with it in overtime. And Marawelli right there called it.
Marawelli had let the Neely hit on Recchi go. And
that's a good hit.
He's not going to let 2 go. Recchi, Stevens, Lemieux, Murphy, and Young. Poulin's been winning the faceoffs all night. Gets it to Galley. Galley for Lazaro. And he backhands it out. Power play, Pittsburgh, and sudden death. Usually you don't see penalties called. Here comes Lemieux. Fell down. Checked by Galley. And Galley gets it. Able to clear. Poulin moving on Murphy. Lazaro 2. And they steal it. Lazaro is shot. He missed the net. Got a bit short-handed. Galley keeps it in. A drive missed the net. Poulin able to fire one. Deflected. The save for Russell. That could have been it. Might have hit the post. As Poulin fired short-handed. Back comes Lemieux. They back off him. His pass is blocked. Lemieux back. Young shot. Save. Moe ties it up. But the Bruins almost won it short-handed. Poulin and Lazaro.
Pittsburgh very sloppy in their own end, figuring the Bruins would just sit back on it, led by Dave Poulin, charged the puck into the end zone. Right here is the end result. It comes back to him. Lazaro tips it right there, beats Barrasso through the legs and off the post. Whoa. Andy Moog, Mario Lemieux trying to thread the needle, hits a leg. It's a big break for the Bruins. 2 guys, 2 defensemen on 1 forward. Lemieux trying to find the open man. This is dangerous as well. Moog gets a piece of it. It's between his legs.
And Lemieux stalling now, talking to Marawelli while he gets a second breath along with Stevens and Recchi.
Gary Galley stalling now.
A timeout called by Pittsburgh. 1:07 left on the power play. That's what he was asking for. NESN's coverage of the Wales Conference Championship hits the road this Sunday for Game 3 between the Bruins and the Penguins. Join us live from the Civic Arena in Pittsburgh, Sunday night, 7:30. Tom Larson has Bruins Digest at 7 o'clock. The Bruins and the Penguins, Game 3, Sunday night on NESN. Don't miss it. And Jeff Lazaro could have been the big hero.
Could have been the hero. He was, so far he's the hero. He's the one that really was instrumental in getting that first penalty to get the Bruins back in the right direction. Jeff Lazaro here gets it here. Turnaround wrist shot here. The nice blind block just misses the net. Blocked the puck behind his back. Kind of felt for it. Pulled it on the forehand and shot it wide.
A timeout for Bob Johnson in Pittsburgh. They're ready to go now. Poulin and Recchi. And the draw is back for Lemieux. Fires into the corner for Stevens off the boards. Back to Murphy. Across for Lemieux. Out for Stevens. Check. Loose. Not wide. Recchi behind the net. Checked by Poulin. Gets it back for Murphy. Murphy has trouble with it. Able to just keep it in. Big play. And Stevens comes off the corner. Can't center it. Wesley able to clear it out. 40 seconds left. Pittsburgh power play. 2 minutes in a sudden death overtime. Poulin and Lazaro replaced. Bob Sweeney out there with Christian, Don Sweeney, and Galley. Around the board, Galley pulled down. Bob Sweeney able to tap it out. Bob Sweeney trying to break. Taken down. A penalty here on Murphy. Holding on Bob Sweeney. That nullifies the Pittsburgh power play. And he had to hold. Bob Sweeney might well have broken loose for a short-handed bid.
I think that's how Marawelli read it. The Penguins have to know. Marawelli is calling penalties, gave them an early opportunity, and there is the hold. Murphy hooks the arm around Bob Sweeney's stick, pulls him down. So when Larry Murphy did that, Marawelli said, listen, I called Bork for holding. I'm going to call you for holding. As one of committed infractions in overtime, I'm going to call it. Penguins should have known that. So should Murphy. Good hustle by. And that's the way the game is played. Short-handed, time to time. I feel much better about it, having killed off most of that. The advantage is now for Boston. See what happens.
It is 4-4, sudden death overtime. Růžička has figured in all 4 goals, 4 assists. Ray Bourque a goal and 2 assists. Janney a goal and 2 assists. Neely is out there with Janney now.
There's a picture of Bob Johnson. Great poster for a Maalox commercial. Looked at it, got upset stomach. Why are you calling this on my hockey club?
In 18 seconds, the Bruins will have a power play. The Penguins win the draw. Roberts breaks it out. Roberts rushing. Slowed down by Don Sweeney. Neely back to get it. Ahead for Janney. For Neely. Fires it in. Blocked. Samuelson with it. Checked by Janney. Power play Boston. Neely has it in the corner. All the way across. Good play by Wesley. The Růžička to Janney. Tried a touch pass. Didn't work. Behind the net, Janney. Růžička. Back. Wesley. Check. Floats to Bourque. Bourque for Wesley. Shot. Blocked on a deflection. Růžička. Shot. Blocked by Barrasso. Janney behind the net. Rolls it to front. Bourque with it. For Wesley. Power play Boston. For Růžička. Back to Wesley. Over to Bourque. In. Růžička. Shot. Blocked. Barrasso did not block that. One of the... He has... Phil Bourque blocked it. Ray Bourque fires in 50 seconds on the power play. Neely drills it. Misses. And the rebound is taken by Francis.
Barrasso has broken his stick. Big break there. Bruins got a...
Růžička, center ice. For Neely. Over the line. Jennings checks him. Puck at the point. Kept in. Intercepted. And cleared out now by Jennings. 20 seconds on the Boston power play. Sudden death overtime. Ray Bourque up the middle for Christian. Růžička. Back for Christian. Shot. Blocked. Barrasso, big stop. And the Penguins clear, and that'll do it on the power play.
No idea how Růžička was stopped. Phil Bourque got an arm or a leg on it. Had Barrasso beat.
Here comes Poulin. Christian trying to cut in. Broken up. Don Sweeney is stopped by Recchi. Recchi wheels back. Taken down. And they let it go. And there was slashing by Recchi later. Bruins. Skriko breaks it out. With Galley. Shot is wide. Poulin. Back for Don Sweeney. Head in deep. Skriko for Christian. The shot. The save. Barrasso. He covers up.
Well, up and down she goes. Found Barrasso playing much better hockey in this game than in first game. Mike Milbury, the troops excited for the overtime. Early overtime sledding has to go to the Bruins. And they were shorthanded. They had 2 great opportunities. There's the slash on Skriko. Don Sweeney made contact with the puck. That's why that wasn't a penalty.
And the faceoff coming up to the right of Barrasso. 5 minutes into sudden death overtime. They get the new stick in. Taglianetti got it to Barrasso, who had broken his stick.
Looked like Ron Francis had blocked that, not Phil Bourque.
Poulin keeps it in. Skriko digs it out. Back for Poulin. Can't put it on net. Christian wheels in the zone. Stops, cuts. Trying to make the play from the corner. Checked all the way. Left it. But out comes Phil Bourque. Francis for Phil Bourque. He is checked by Lowe. Got the stick out of it. Bourque went barreling in. Poulin clears it out. Roberts wheels it back in. Don Sweeney, Christian to Poulin. Flipped in. Bruins change up. 14:20 left. Sudden death overtime. Both clubs with their chances. Bourque gets it up for Janney. Janney is broken up at center ice. Right back, Stevens losing. Covering it, Murphy. Center ice block. Bob Sweeney starts it back for Neely. Across for Bork. Can't connect with him. Mario Lemieux, a quick clear out. Fed right back in. Roberts back. Able to clear it out. And Recchi breaks. Recchi on Wesley. Shot over the net. Back comes Bob Sweeney. Sudden death overtime. 4-4. Bob Sweeney. Taken down by Murphy. Around the board. Janney intercepts. Janney can't make the play across for Wesley. A lead back now. Stevens going for it. Knocked away by Moe. Kept in by Recchi. For Lemieux. Lemieux broken up. Wesley fires it up. Janney with it. Gets the line. Clears it in. Boston changing up. Both coaches going with just about 2 lines. Galley at center ice. Can't connect with Strico. It will be the bounce of the puck on this one.
Yeah,
here's Verdina. So. Intercepted by Burridge. Burridge for Lazaro. He's coming hard. He is stuck on the play. Trying to move in. Solid defensive work by Samuelson. At the Boston line. The body's falling. Don Sweeney gets it. For Galley. For Don Sweeney. Up for Strico. Strico broken up. Puck rolls in on Moog. Galley for Strico. 4 Penguins back though. Not much room for Burridge. Burridge a shot. A save by Barrasso. Puck cleared and Ray Bourque with it. Moves it back in. Strico entangled with Taglianetti, who had taken him down. And
Taglianetti trying to get a call on Strico.
12:04 left. Sudden death overtime. And an offside pass.
Right here. There's a hand off the stick. Kind of a hold. Now watch the extracurricular there. There's Merriwelli saying, come on, up, let it go, calm down. I never listened to a referee verbalize in his life. The only thing I ever listened to was the whistle and go to the box. Eddie trying to get a penalty.
4 shots in the sudden death overtime. And the Penguins with 1, and each team has had a power play. Poulin on Jennings. Around the boards, Ray Bourque keeps it in. In deep, Poulin. In front, backhand is saved! Score! Růžička on the rebound! The Bruins win it! Vladimír Růžička makes it 5-4, and the Bruins win their 2nd straight.
Oh, what can you say with a game Vladimír Růžička had tonight? Mike Milbury never used him in the first series very much. Used him a little bit more as he was getting into shape off the surgery in the 2nd series. One night he had 40 seconds of play, had a goal and an assist, started to get a little more ice time. His play certainly warranted it. Milbury using him more in these first 2 games. He responds in 2 nights with 8 points.
Růžička has a goal and 4 assists. He figured in every goal, including the winner at 8:14. The assist to Christian, who put a beautiful backhander on.
Here's Christian's backhander. Růžička picks it out of the air. It's a bouncing puck. Tommy Barrasso's shoulder shoveled it in. A tough break for Barrasso. And Pittsburgh, what we said earlier, it would be a bouncing puck. But what a hustle play here by Davy Christian. Great save by Barrasso to get that blocker on the first one. Vladimír Růžička. Big 2-0 lead in the series.
A decided edge for Boston in the overtime, the 8 minutes and 14 seconds. Each team with a power play. You go back to Andy Moog again.
Right, Fred, perfect. That's exactly what happened. You forget what Andy Moog did for you to get you here. To win it in overtime, and Růžička's 5 points. Obviously, tremendous offense, but really the goaltending is what made it a 4-4 game in the first place.
Well, it was a wide-open first period. Then Bruins took an early lead, 3-2, sat back on it.
Right to sleep.
Bad
Right
Bad
to sleep.
news.
Right to sleep.
And finally, Růžička wins it. Boston 5, Pittsburgh 4. Back in a minute.
Game 2 is over. Final score tonight at Boston Garden. The Bruins 5, the Pittsburgh Penguins 4 in overtime. And the series goes to the Igloo now for games 3 and 4 on Sunday and Tuesday night. Dave Christian is Dave Shea's guest down at Boston Garden after this overtime victory. David, you're smiling.
Wow. The gamut of emotions, Tom, from beginning to end. I feel like I just watched 4 different games. Dave Christian with me, and I can only imagine how you feel right about now.
Well, we certainly felt pretty good about going into the overtime with the fact that it didn't look good late in the period and down a goal, and we managed to get one on the power play. So we felt good going into the overtime, but I think we talked about it after to the third period, the fact that we played much better after they scored their 2 goals than prior to that. We same old thing, we sat back, and it cost us, and they ended up with a 1-goal lead, and we had to battle back late in the period, but we certainly played a lot better after they scored the 2 goals than we did prior to that.
All right, let's start from the beginning. You came out and played stronger from the outset than you did in Game 1, David, and you guys worked hard and really carried the play to them to get that 3-2 lead. Why, at that juncture of the game, which is still early in the second period, not sit on it, but certainly lay back?
Well, it's something that we've talked enough about it. It just isn't getting done right now. We're having a tendency to sit back. I think we saw a lot more intensity from both teams in this game tonight as opposed to Game 1. We knew it would be that way, and we were ready for the start of the game. We came out pretty strong, and so did they. It was it was a good hockey game, but we just we found ourselves with a lead and found ourselves sitting back again, and until they scored their 2 goals, it kind of woke us up, and we started to play much better.
Power play tonight, 3 power play goals. The power play has been fantastic throughout the postseason so far.
It's always a key in the postseason and in the playoffs. It's just it's a matter of getting the penalty killing and the power play going. If you don't give up too many power play goals and you get 1 or 2 on the power play, you stand an excellent chance of winning the game. It's more checking. It's a tighter game in the playoffs. And those are the turning points of the game at power plays and penalty kills.
The overtime was unusual in as much as, one, you expected an OT to end quickly. It didn't. You don't expect to see power plays in overtime, and both teams had one, and both teams had great chances, Dave.
Found ourselves in a different situation with having to kill a penalty pretty early in the overtime and then going on the power play. So it was something a little bit different than what we're used to. I think a lot of times you see, nothing called, late in the third and then into the overtime. But as it was, we certainly have to feel good about winning this game.
Well, I'll tell you what, if Vladimír Růžička keeps this up, they're going to start calling him Mr. May. He's been nothing short of sensational in the 2 games.
He really has, and I think it's really a boost to our team. I think in the room, everybody can rally around him. I mean, when he turns it on, there's no player better to watch. I mean, he can do amazing things with the puck, and he's so big, so strong. He can hang on to it, and he's patient with it. He can hit the open man, and that's what you see him doing. And it was nice to see him score the goal.
Now, an unusual feeling for you folks as you head for Pittsburgh. You go down there 2-0 rather than 1-1.
We talked about that before the game. It certainly is a better feeling being up 2-0 than having it tied and the momentum on their side. It was a good game tonight, a close game. It didn't look good towards the end of the third period, but we managed to get the equalizer and go into the overtime, confident that. I shouldn't say confident, but with an idea that we were going to go for it a little bit more than we had in the third period.
Well, this is the kind of stuff the champions are made of, and maybe this is just one more step toward a Stanley Cup ring, Dave.
We hope so. It's a long road ahead, and we realize that. We'll go out and work hard.
Hey, nice job tonight. Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
Dave Christian, our guest, and now let's go up to the booth with Fred and Derek. Guys?
Thank you, Dave. And Dave, in a very impressive 5-4 win, you talk about Vladimír Růžička. I think you have to talk about Harry Sinden. Where did Růžička come from?
Well, he made the Hoggood deal. Greg Hoggood opted to go to Italy. Fatal mistake there. Next thing you know, boom, off to Edmonton with Hoggood, and you get Růžička, tremendous player, great with pair of hands. We said that, and the knock on him was his defense. I think he plays a pretty good sound defense. He's got the puck all night.
Well, you saw him put in the rebound of the Dave Christian shot, the backhander in on Tom Barrasso. Christian really on fire. The Bruins can win the series if they can take the play to Pittsburgh, but as Dave said, Dave Christian, they sat back, and it almost cost them.
It does, and it happens so often in sports. No one knows it. I mean, I've watched football games, baseball games, basketball, And you say, why? You just let down. You just stand around and look and wait and watch and wait for somebody else to do something. The Bruins got a lead. I guess they didn't figure they deserved it. They left it up to Moog. Moog held on to it for a long time. But then they came in at the spur. You mentioned that they only had 16 shots on goal, and then the next 17 minutes or so they had 18 shots. Then it just turned it around. Just played tremendous hockey after that. Once the game was tied, and away we go.
We're looking at Phil Bourque, who had an opportunity against Andy Moog. What a fine game he played, the boy from Chelmsford.
Phil Bourque himself could have had 4 goals. He played a fantastic hockey game. He played tough. He played strong all night. The puck just did not bounce for him. It did not go his way tonight. And Phil Bourque will not quit. He'll be back ready for the Bruins in Pittsburgh, no doubt about it. Boston is going to have to play a 60-minute game in Pittsburgh.
Okay, Vladimír Růžička, what a night for him. 4 assists and 1 goal, the winning goal in sudden death overtime at 8:14 from Dave Poulin and Dave Christian. And the Bruins with the victory, and now they lead the series 2 games to none. Here's Tom.
All right, Fred, Derek, thank you. The Celtics, by the way, lost in Indiana tonight to the Pacers, so that series, which is only a 5-game series, is even at 2-2, coming back for Game 5 at Boston Garden. The Red Sox are leading the White Sox 5-2. Going to the bottom of the 9th at New Comiskey Park in Chicago, Roger Clemens has worked the first 8 innings. And the Bruins have beaten the Pittsburgh Penguins 5-4 in overtime to take a 2-0 lead in their series against the Pittsburgh Penguins. We'll look at highlights from the 3rd period and the overtime coming up next on Bruins Instant Replay on NESN. You talk about the Pittsburgh Penguins being such an offensive powerhouse, and yet at this point of the playoffs, the Bruins have scored 53 goals in 15 games. They are averaging 3.53 goals per game. Pittsburgh has scored 47 in 14 games, 3.36 per game. So the Bruins being the more offensive club, at least in the postseason so far. In the 3rd period, it's a 1-goal Boston lead right here. Andy Moog goes to work.
Stevens fires it, saved by Moog. A drive by Stanton, a save by Moog. Off now for a shot, the save by Andy Moog.
Trying to protect a 1-goal lead, but almost all the activity in the 3rd period was happening right around Andy Moog. You just kind of knew one of them was going to get in there.
Lemieux trying to put it in front, does, they score. Deflected off a Bruin.
The game is tied. Boston scores, Pittsburgh scores. Now the pattern breaks.
Sweeney intercepted Lemieux. Lemieux has an man open, Joe Mullen. He scores, Lemieux.
First lead of the night for the Penguins. 4:11 left, and the Bruins got a chance with a 2-man advantage.
He's at the galley. A book, shot, save, rebound. Galley scores from Růžička and Bourque to tie the game at 4.
That with 3 minutes and 11 seconds left to play in regulation. Those 3:11 went by to overtime. 37 seconds into the sudden death, Ray Bourque for holding. Pittsburgh power play. Best chance was Boston shorthanded off the post. Pittsburgh's Larry Murphy next to go, and Boston gets the extra man.
Over to Bourque in Růžička. Shot, blocked.
Bruins looking for their first overtime win of the postseason, and they got it. The hero, Vladimír Růžička.
In front, backhand is saved. Score! Růžička on the rebound. The Bruins win it.
Růžička figured in every goal the Bruins scored for the night. They go up in the series 2-0, and the series switches now to Pittsburgh. Bruins up 2-0 for the first time in the postseason. Neither has Pittsburgh had to come from behind from an 0-2 deficit. They have been at 1-1 after 2 games in both of their other series. Final in overtime, Boston 5, Pittsburgh 4. Back in a moment. Guests on NESN's Bruins Instant Replay receive a gift certificate from Applebee's, New England's favorite grill and bar, with 8 convenient locations in Massachusetts, Rhode Island, and New Hampshire. The Bruins have been unbeaten in the regular season in overtime this year, the only team in the National Hockey League to accomplish that, I believe. But they were 0-2 in overtime before tonight's 5-4 win over the Pittsburgh Penguins. 2 losses in overtime, both of them to the Montreal Canadiens. They are now 5-0 in the postseason when they score 4 goals or more. I'm Tom Larson. That's Bruins Instant Replay for this time. And once again, the final score from Boston Garden tonight. The Boston Bruins 5 and the Pittsburgh Penguins 4. The series now stands 2-0 Boston. Game 3 in Pittsburgh on Sunday night from the Igloo as the Bruins and the Penguins battle it out in Game 3. We have it for you live on NESN. Game time with Fred Cusick, Derek Sanderson, and Dave Shea is 7:30. I'll have Bruins Digest at 7 on your New England Sports Network. This has been an exclusive presentation of NESN, your New England Sports Network, and your ticket to Boston Bruins hockey.